Man, if Man, beat see the first one I go first if Man, beat Tottenham, man.
Who's at home today?
Tottenham, sha. But they're playing with kids.
Bro, have you seen Man U? Man U,
I,
Maino, Ugarte, and Toby Colley are out. We're going to play with Casemiro and Eriksen today.
Pensioners.
Ugarte is out.
Yes, he's
Let me
out.
explain to you. Under 18s and under 21s are on the bench
I
today.
heard. That's what I heard. I heard that
Uh,
even Obi is under 18.
yeah,
Obi is
yes.
going to be
Obi
on the
is on the
bench.
bench. Sekou Kone is on the bench.
Ah, that's tough. Oh.
Well, it's the battle of the mids today.
Well, this one not pass
Pep,
me to or the
Pep is complaining
relegated.
about the injuries. He now said, "But Liverpool, what's happening?" He
Yeah,
said Liverpool.
that's what I said that's what I said in the group the other time. I said it now that what
uh,
saved Liverpool this season is that they didn't have any major disaster.
no
Yeah,
injury, no injury.
if they did, they won't be where they are now.
They will be ready. It's obvious. Ah, Pep tired.
It's not
All
it's a
right.
lot. All right, man. Let's start the show. Let's get into it. We're already in
Ooh.
it. Yeah, we're
Our
recording already.
last our
We're
last
already
four
in it.
episodes or 5 episodes have just been lit in a way. Hey, sorry, I didn't update this thing. No.
No, it's fine. It's the
Uh,
family episode.
a day in the week. Okay, we're not this day in the week. We're not doing it.
I mean, if we get there, we can get with the vibe. Can vibe with
Let
it.
me
Why
look.
not? We should. We should be consistent with it. Why not?
Yeah, let me look for it. I'm coming.
All right, man. It's cool. But we're already recording, so we started the pod already, man.
All
How's
right, all
everybody
right, all
doing?
right.
Ah, no, no, no. They should not include that first battle. I beg.
Why? What's
I
wrong with
beg, I
it?
beg. It's not football.
Please, man. This is what makes this show interesting, man. It can be as random as ever. Why are both of you wearing red shirts? What's going on?
The mood of love. Woohoo.
That is
Ah, yeah,
wild.
yeah.
So this is a Valentine's episode, and you're
Ah!
wearing a
Yes,
red shirt. Are you even
yes.
complimenting it with a red cap, red
Thank you
and white
very
cap?
much. Yes, Valentine is here.
And as I can see, Io's one has some flower going
Yes,
on. They have some
yeah.
flower imagery going on.
Now so it be.
People are losing. People like every year, people keep losing. The rate at which people lose their minds over like this Valentine just keep increasing.
I
Like
saw,
where people
I saw,
just lose their
I
minds.
saw
Like I
Steve's tweet
don't
yesterday.
understand it.
Yeah,
I
this
don't know. It's
might be
not a
my. I have no record. Well, I have bad memories at times,
yeah.
especially if it doesn't have anything to do with Nigerian pop culture and music. Every other thing.
So, every other thing just fades.
By
Yeah.
the way,
Bro, let me tell you something. I remember some things that happened to me 10, 20 years ago. I'm like, this thing happened. Wow.
Yeah.
It's significant. Oh. Yeah, but I bought my wife a bouquet of flowers, when I was coming back
Makes
from work.
sense.
oh, that's
Especially
nice.
because, and guys, there's context here. I just walked into the store and bought it. Like, I didn't need to do any. If it was in Nigeria, I'm not doing it. If I was still
Yeah,
living in
Exactly.
Lagos, because to buy a bouquet of flowers is irresponsibly or ridiculously expensive. One, two, I would have to leave my vicinity and go all the way somewhere to buy it or to purchase it, or I would have to order it, and the
the
whole
logistics of
drama,
it.
it's too much. So
Are
this
you
one,
there? Are you there?
I dropped from the tram, I walked in, I took a 5 minute walk or less than, went into the store, purchased it because there were like a million and one of them. I'm not trying to say it's not significant. It was because when I came home, she and kids actually bought me something. I said, "Oh, this is your own." In fact, everybody got a Valentine's gift,
Yeah.
including the kids.
Yeah.
Because it was just
Yeah.
nice. They went to the store, got me a bottle of perfume because my perfume had finished. And all of that. And yeah, just keep it
Makes
simple.
sense.
Just just a token, but not some of the outrageous things I saw some of you do.
Yeah. People are
Yeah.
just
The
yeah.
money
People are
bouquet,
just
nigga.
so you remember the flower conversation of last year, and I said, let's say this thing day important too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think was this there's something there's an okay conversation that we had about October. Like, she had like a very stressful week. It was
Yeah.
difficult for her, blah blah blah. So I think I went to the bank. Then all of a sudden I walked in. I was passing through like a shop, and I saw that it was a flower shop, and it was really decent. And I entered and purchased some and gone home. I didn't feel the impact of like when I bought like a bag or a shoe or like like
Mm-hmm.
you didn't understand. Like I didn't see the
It's the
reaction was
thought
like
that
really
counts.
different. Yeah, but I regretted it because let me just continue buying things that they use because the flower too. I know they see them again. Like after 2 weeks, I didn't see it again. So it felt like so it felt like
Oh,
so you know
I feel you. I feel you. At the end of
yeah
the day, man, see, like I always say, functionality over fashion.
yeah.
I always say it,
True.
functionality and comfort over fashion. And this goes beyond clothing to every other thing. Is this functional or is this functional? Will you use it for a long period of time? Yes. You buy some things, they use it for what? 1 week, and then it becomes less glamorous. Everybody moves on. But can you get something? Say, I'd rather if someone gets me something that is functional. Like this bottle of perfume is functional. I'm going to use it till
Yeah.
the last drop. It's functional. So please get your significant partner something that is functional. I think that's
I mean,
how
yeah.
things should
I mean,
work.
I'm a bad gifter, Sha, because I've never, maybe I need to listen more because most times, I've improved like basically last year, but
Hmm.
all through, I'm always maybe like unfortunate to like buy something that someone does not like. I remember buying a bag one time for wifey. Then when I gave the bag to her, she was like, "Ah, this bag is big, like it's just big like old mama bag." Like there's something like a comment like that. The thing hurts me so bad, man. She didn't realize how that thing hurts me
Yeah,
until we had a conversation one time about like gift or stuff like that. That said, "Oh, this is the comment that you made," and she said the reason she made that comment was this was like the second time I was doing this and I was buying the same bag, like the same type of bag, like
yeah.
that. Why do I like big bags or something? That's why she made that comment because the first time she took it because oh this is a gift, but the second time I did it again, like you are not listening. What's happening? I'm like okay, yeah, I'm not listening for real. True. I don't really listen
You
because I
don't know
remember
bag
also,
fashion.
I
Wait,
remember
before
also
you
the
went and purchased the bag, did you call any of your female friends to say, "Hey, man, I want to purchase this bag. What do you think? Is this something that
my
wifey would
cousin, my
like?"
cousin, my cousin Kosa because cousin, I and
Oh my
cousin
God,
we
Kazim.
do Zara shopping together,
Yeah,
right? Because so that we can take on the cost of importation, like the logistics.
yeah. You
We,
share the
we
import
share
fees
it,
and
right?
yeah,
So when he sent me his, because we use his account, when he sent me his account to use, when I saw his order, I saw the bag and I liked it.
yeah.
I'm like, okay,
But
let
that's
me
what
just
his
buy.
wife likes, right?
How don't they know now? I think I
And
just,
but well,
So
the
this is
only
a
way
universal like.
he probably asked his wife and was listening, and you weren't listening. So he went to someone else's shopping cart, saw something that he had purchased for someone, and then you went and replicated it. Nigerian
so
women are not a monolith.
yeah, so
Please.
we didn't actually buy. Me and Kasim didn't actually complete that purchase. Then my cousin from Abuja came in and was like, oh, that he wants to like order some Zara. So, like he does it, but he just wants to do it now. So okay, let me just quickly add because me and Kasim were not doing it again. So I just added it. In fact, I didn't search for that bag. As I was just searching, I just saw like a section for bags. I just clicked it. The first thing I saw was that bag. I was like, oh okay, this is the bag. I just clicked it and did you get I ordered it. I brought it and she said, like this bag is just big, like as if it's
Shout
just
out
like my mother
to
carrying it. I'm like, what's it happen? You
wow.
know? But also too, another reason why I'm also like a bad like gifting gives me and like I'm always paranoid when I'm gifting people things because it's rare for people to buy me anything that I like.
Hmm.
Like because
Yeah.
like my taste is that's just like really different and
Hmm.
you
What
might
would
buy
you
people
like
what
if I were to get you something for your birthday? What would you like? What would you want me to buy for you?
hmm,
Or I was to buy for you.
uh,
So it's my birthday. Oh, they're gonna get me something. I wish they get me this. What would it be? Or is it always changing? Or is it always of the time?
it's always changing. It's always
Mm.
changing.
Ayo, what
It's
about you?
always changing, to be
Apple
very
Watch.
honest.
That's what I need right now in
An
my
Apple
life.
Watch,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Now that I'm using the pod exactly. So maybe, or maybe, yeah. Okay, short. Like, come back to the conversation that I had last week. A, this reading tablet, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Um,
Kindle.
The
the
Kindle.
Kindle,
Yeah.
right?
So it's
But
constantly changing
it's
because it's
constantly
something you need
changing
at the
because it's
moment.
something
Yeah.
I need, and I'm always about function, right? I'm always like my birthday last year. I got a lot of shoes. Like wifey bought like 3 pairs.
Yeah.
Then now Secret Santa this thing
No, you needed you
in
needed shoes. You have a horrible shoe
uh,
collection, so I'm glad she upgraded them.
Oh
um
yes, yes, I agree with that one.
true
Yeah.
true but the shoe collection had improved from like 2023 from
Okay.
2023. So I was
Okay.
so the shoe too was like it wasn't like functional for me, but it's a gift that I appreciate though, like
Yeah. But
nonetheless,
how many
right?
times are you gonna wear shoes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do you
Now
get
you're
so
staring at those shoes.
bro, I'm not even going anywhere. Do you
They're
get
shoot
so?
out.
So it's like it's really like gifting is a weird concept to me because I don't know what somebody's
Yeah.
thinking at the particular moment. So the goal is just to the key is just like listen carefully, just
Hmm.
ensure that you're listening very very carefully and just observing, which is something I don't really know how to do, but we're all improving and try to do our best. So yeah, that's something I'm trying to improve on, just to like listen because I
Yeah.
see people who do stuff where the person's like, what? How did you know? Like I needed this, I want to be that impactful. Like I want my gifting to be that impactful, not something that you just be looking at. Like I look at like some of my shoes now, like I don't wear these things. This is just wasting. Like do you get, stuff like that? Yeah. So
I feel you. I think it's
yeah.
easier getting gifts for kids because they don't have a
No,
lot.
no, no. They don't like
Of course, they not get
exactly. Those
wahala
ones
now. They
is
not get
normal.
wahala
Those
now.
ones,
Yeah. And I
those
think for
ones
them
is
it's
normal.
more about the thought that you just got them something, not really what
Yeah.
it is. Because half of the time they just throw the stuff away,
Yeah.
you know. But alright, what about you? What was your Valentine's like?
Oh, my office gave me cupcake, and that was the highlight of my Valentine. Cupcake
Okay.
and a mineral, because they believe that it's diabetes that we need on Valentine's Day.
A
So
lot of
that is
sugar.
a lot of sugar. That's the highlight of my Valentine. It's not a day I don't see the fuss about it. I just guess it's commercialism and yeah, that's it to me. Well, everybody was crazy about it. I saw a lot of stuff on the ground. People with bouquet of roses, some people with bouquet of money, and all that. Shout out to everybody, and please also take Plan B if necessary, or else
I think it's a bit too late now.
It's a
oh,
bit too late now,
it's too
right?
late. Yes, yes, that's bad.
I mean,
Sorry,
you
but
can
if
still
you
take
If
there's the 48 hours one, sure.
then
if
for
it's a
the yeah,
if
you
it's a
take
baby
it.
girl, it's not nothing. If it's a baby girl, the baby is still coming.
But
Yeah.
some children,
Have you
some
guys
children
heard
are
that? Have you guys heard that thing that like baby girls are like really
that
how do I
Plan
put
B
it?
proof.
Kind of
Really?
more than baby boys. Yeah,
I never
yeah.
heard of it.
That's like
Never
it's
knew
just
of it.
something that it's just something that
Never
I
seen that
think
before.
yeah. It's something that people say.
I mean, it's all
Yeah.
good. It's all good. It's all good. I want to say something I've forgotten, but it's all good, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We're here. We're here. We're live. We're here. Let's start. Let's start. Oh yeah, I remember what I want to say. The morning bouquet, guys, is Raz. Stop it. Stop
It's
it. Stop it.
terrible.
Stop it. Stop it.
And it's
Yeah,
illegal. It's illegal,
it's
first of all.
Oh, yes. First of all, flipping them. I think we talked about this on the last episode.
Yeah.
Flipping the money like that. And some of you still went ahead to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the next 48 hours going through, scouring through Instagram pages. And for everybody that received or sent money bouquets, I'm
Oh,
going to report you guys to the
yes, you see.
Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. That's
We'll
what I'm
tag
going to
them.
do. I am going to, report. I'll
Yeah,
first
people
tag
have
them in your
some.
post. Then I will screenshot your post, get your profile, go and find you on LinkedIn, whatever, and then lodge formal reports, right?
The
Or
point,
complaints.
the point is now right. Like I understand when popular people do it in terms of like trying to keep up with the posting, trying to keep up with your
Yeah.
fans. Like if like for example like a popular person shows me like how they spent their Valentine, the gift they receive, I'll be like, oh, this is part of the content creation. This is part of
Yeah, your
It's
your
not
rollout.
public.
real.
It's not.
Mm.
This is part of your public relation. This is part of your image
Yeah.
building
It's
and
Yeah.
stuff like
just
that.
doing
Is
absurdities. Yeah.
exactly. But when I just see regular people just trying to like post photos of these things, like I'm asking myself like, what is really the need?
What are
My
you doing
point
this for?
my point is I think I put something on no, someone did a whole breakdown. Who was it in the group about the commercialism of a lot of things. For the money bouquet in particular, right? Why are you I want to understand why you're happy. Are you happy receiving money? Are you happy receiving because if you're happy receiving something that should be a flower, but like it's naira or like whatever denomination, let's say naira notes that is in there. Are you happy because you received money? Or are you happy you're receiving something designed with naira? Like I'm trying to get the um
The
not the
logic.
motive now, but the logic behind receiving some being excited about that. What's the overall happiness you receive around it? Because if it's cash, he could have just sent you the cash. Because now you have to then take out all that money and then
Yeah.
go to the POS agent and give him cash. And then they probably even charge you for giving them cash for them to send it to your bank account. I'm trying to understand what it is. Is it, or is it just to show off to say, hey, I am playing in the space of luxury and splendor as well, no matter how small it can
Yeah.
be. Is
See,
that it?
I need the Ministry of Education to come out and say luxury has been bastardized in this country. The
Of
concept
course.
of luxury has been
Of
bastardized.
course.
Money bouquet is not luxury. That is just
It's
trenches
crass.
behavior.
Ras.
It's
It's
crass.
trenches
Dude, it's
behavior.
crass. It's
Low
crass.
level behavior.
Please, as a young lady, if you receive a money bouquet, don't be impressed. Be impressed if the guy say, you know what, I just bought you some Apple stocks. That is, be impressed by that. Oh, I just bought you some, so I just bought you some crypto. You know, it's in your wallet already. That's a flex. And for guys, money bouquet, how much is it? Everything. Say you went to meet the person that would convert the money to. First of all, you are going to buy, because we all know how this works. It's the same way it works when you are going to spray money at weddings, right? You are going to buy new naira notes, and it's expensive. It's getting more expensive buying new naira notes now. If you're buying new naira notes, maybe say 20,000, and you're buying 500 naira notes or 1,000 naira notes, you're probably buying it at maybe you're probably paying 5,000 for it. So you give them 20,000, they'll give you 15,000 back, right? So it
Yeah.
costs you 5,000 naira. Then you find somebody who's then going to do the design for you, right? So I mean, this person does the total package. They'll tell you this is how much it costs, blah blah blah. And you spend all that money just to give somebody money. It's not a flex, guys. What a flex is, well, I just bought you some stocks. I bought you the S&P 500. You know, I put about $1,000 in there. That's a flex. For me, that's a flex. Like, or even just send the person money, but they send the money bouquet instead of roses. How did money paper notes replace roses? And even what the fuck is roses? And you know what? Let me
Roses
just
not
let
even
it go,
good for
man.
Nigeria.
Yeah, but me, it's tacky, guys. Stop it. Stop it. Let's start the show.
The way you dance, my, you got me. I'm feeling the roll, you got me. So show me what you got, baby, make it hot like you got me out of
Jesse Jax, baby.
Hey now, it's that incredible kid from J-Town. You feeling the sound, baby, you know how I put it down. Hey, hey lady, you my sweet, that's my sugar cane, baby. The way you dancing, my, you enslave me. You my fly, you my little Miss Daisy. I wanna take you home tonight. Can't you see I'm alone tonight? Love Jones tonight. You and I, we on the night. And you never my jam. You ain't never heard my type of jam. DJ pump it up. We is about to bump it up. Like the way you dance, my, you got me. I'm feeling the roll, you got me. So show me what you got, baby, make it hot like you got me out of control. Hey. What you want from me? Baby, don't you front for me. All the people know who wearing that crown. Turn my music up, I see a nigga dancing like a clown. Clown. How I put it down. With J-Jax, you gotta get down, down. That's how I do. Baby, I've been looking for you, you. If you feeling my flow, baby, you better tell me so. The way I'm rocking the show. Baby, I love the way you bringing it low.
Bring it back now.
And you never my jam. You ain't never heard my type of jam. DJ pump it up. We is about to bump it up. Like the way you dance, my, you got me. I'm feeling the roll, you got me. So show me what you got, baby, make it hot like you got me out of control. Say waiting day, mama, hope you're doing okay. Mama, it's a brand new day. Baby, get ready for brand new Jesse J. Baby, let me tell you how it is. Let's get together so we can handle our biz. I got the easy, mama, we can fly like A's. Waves as cool as the breeze. No matter how far you run, there ain't nothing hidden under the sun. You could run overseas and land, but baby, you better understand that my love will find you. If it's too high, baby, you climb through. My love ain't like the sunlight, it can blind you. But anyway, anytime you shine through, eh. Waiting day today, baby, me and you love you playing today. You gon' know Jesse J today. Chocolate, what's it day today? Asha Box, me Jesse J. Difference day, rock, no the play. You gon' know Jesse J today. Chocolate. chocolate. What's it day today? Go gentle, go easy. Baby, let me serenade you with the fizzy. Chauffeur, I'm driving your loco. I got the chocolate, say I'm the cocoa. Back in the days, baby, I had no dough. I was rejected like the Kobo. Now chicks go crazy like JoJo. Jags has got more whips than Koboko. So follow me to my moto. Babe, come get lucky like Lotto. Hey baby, I'm a chairman. What you looking for? I got it right here, man. I got the flow to uplift you in the air, man. Parties over here, what you doing over there, man? See, ain't no other like me, man. Jesse, man. Hey, waiting day today. Baby, me and you love it play today. You gon' know Jesse J today. Chocolate, what's it day today? Ashabot, me Jesse J. Different day, rock no be play. You gon' know Jesse J today. Chocolate, what's it day today? No time, oh, baby, you too fine, oh. Girl, you blow my mind, oh, mind, oh, mind, oh, mind, oh. No time, oh, baby, you too fine, oh. Girl, you blow my mind, oh, mind, oh. Girl, you blow my mind, oh. No time, oh, baby, you too fine, oh. Girl, you blow my mind, oh, mind, oh. I'm feeling you behind, oh. No time, oh, baby, you too fine, oh. Girl, you blow my mind, oh, mind, oh. I'm feeling.
Yep. What up, guys?
Incredible music of Jesse Jag.
I don't know what I did. I just ended it abruptly. Anyway,
It
shout out
happened, it
to
happened.
Jesse Jags. Incredible. That's the way to describe it. Incredible music from Jesse
Incredible music.
Jags. I just played from his debut album in 2010, Jags of All Trades. I just played You Pump It Up and a very, 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 very hard hitting record, Waiting Day. What's your favorite record between both? Pump It Up or Waiting Day?
Waiting Day, man. Waiting Day is just.
It's
what the
definitely
hell
Waiting Day, right?
I was like, bro, why did you not go with this as the first single?
Yeah,
Bruh.
I think he went with Pump It Up as the first single. When Pump It
Yeah.
Up dropped Dope, they shot the video for Pump It Up. Then
Yeah,
you buy the album, then you listen to Waiting Day and you're like, Waiting
Wow.
Day is the
It
record.
was
Waiting
the
Day is the
record.
record. You know, Pump It Up is a good record too, but Waiting Day is
Waiting
on
Day.
another level. I don't know if it's
Wow.
because the chorus is in pidgin.
It's the
know,
way he just constructed the song. Like
Yeah, the
that
beat is
extra
also
chorus
crazy.
he did that he now dropped in the second after the second verse. I was
Yeah,
like,
the bridge,
bro,
right? No time, oh,
Nemo,
baby, you too
you too?
fine,
No.
oh, girl, you blow my mind, oh.
Jesse is something else.
You know, Jesse was like, so here's what happens in Nigerian music industry, which I hate a lot, and we can name a couple of albums this happened to. But I think Jesse Jags of All Trades was one of the first albums I noticed like didn't get good reception. Didn't get good reception because there's a certain narrative that has been built around the person. And then people expect something else. And once they don't get something else, or whatever it is, if people aren't just feeling you, they aren't just feeling you.
Yeah,
In
I
fact,
think there was a mistake. Yeah.
the first album, to be honest, was actually Two Faces Unstoppable.
Oh yes.
I went back to listen to Unstoppable. It's not almost all the songs on
It's not a bad
Unstoppable
album.
International Edition
not a bad
are
album.
on Unstoppable.
But I remember something
It's just bloated. It's just bloated. The problem is
It's not-
that the whole baby mama crisis and everything,
his public perception at that time.
it was horrible.
Yeah.
And everybody just say, you know what, we're not rocking with the album. But like
Yeah.
musically, the album isn't bad. But
Yeah.
because his brand and perception at the time,
It was in the gutter.
yeah.
Also, there's something
Which is crazy that over a decade later,
we are back in the same place again.
We're still back here. Anyways,
There's something Ian Marshall told me
yeah.
early back when I was still in hip hop world. He said he spoke to OJB, and OJB told him that this album, the Unstoppable album, is the album Two Face always wanted to do. That showed more of his reggae and roots style. So he's not surprised this is the album he wanted to do. Two Face's first two albums were more R&B and pop because OJB was leaning towards that side, and they met at that spot. So he could do R&B and pop, and OJB could deliver on that level too. So that's why it was the perfect mix. But without OJB on the third album, he just had free creative reign to do the album he really wanted to do, and that's why a lot of reggae sounds and root sounds were in that as well. And I don't think Nigerians were ready to hear a reggae Two Face at that time. Plus the whole baby mama drama and the whole issue.
Yeah, the drama was too much. He had gotten short. Remember, he was robbed. He was short. There was a whole baby mama drama. Too many baby mamas going on at the time. Then the management as well. He wasn't working with Afia. He was working with Nas, right?
Nazi.
Yeah. Nazi, you know, the whole thing. I think he went back to Festac. The whole thing was just different. OJB wasn't on production. It
Mhm.
was just everywhere, man.
Then he had the Comoblastic controversy too, that he took Como's song, Jungle
Yeah,
Don't Mature.
John Gudon Macho, Komo
Mature
Blasty came out and said it was his record. It
record.
was too much, man. It was too much going on. And back then, right, unlike now, where if you have some controversy, the next day is gone. Back then, one little
He go stay.
controversy could last a whole year
He go stay with you.
because people, you know, entertainment journalists will just pick up a story 6 months. They don't care. They just brand you around that story and they just keep
They
writing and
just
writing.
keep writing around that story.
And then everybody knows you for that, you know, and all of that. But yeah, so coming back to Jesse Jags now, I feel Jesse Jags with his introduction with MI, Loopy Music, and Chocolate City, right? It came through. We looked at him through the lens of hip hop and hip hop only.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when he dropped Jags of all trades, hip hop purists were actually mad at him.
Yeah, they're like, what is this? We don't get it. Your brother
Yeah.
just dropped an amazing debut album.
Yeah,
Then-
why are you singing? What is all this pump it up? What
and
is all this?
according to
Wetin dey?
legend, you
Yeah.
are a better rapper. You are a
Yes.
better lyricist. So why
Yes.
are you doing this? Yeah.
You know, not knowing that Jesse Jags is an all-round artist. He can
Yeah.
rap, he can sing, he can produce, he can do everything. And we
Mhm.
should have appreciated him for that, which we've gone on to do now. But yeah, you know, see that first moment, once they put you
You
in
go
a
hard.
box
You go hard. man.
and they paint the album a certain way, they just throw it away. This
Yeah.
is the follow-up album. This is the album after MI's Talk About It from Chocolate City. Like
Yes.
this is the follow. They put some effort in it, right?
Yeah.
And I was listening to the album again. It has so many dope tracks, man. From My Brother to Sugarcane Baby, you know,
Jago.
to Jago, to Takeover, you know, which had one of Ice Prince's best 16s
Yeah.
and created so much anticipation for Ice Prince at the time, you know. And I like how Jesse introduced him. He said, MI was the thunder, I am the lightning. Oh no, MI is the lightning, I'm the thunder, and Ice is the rain. And Ice just came in and just started. Bro, I had so many prospects. So, oh man, Ice.
They put Ice on a lot of good records that are really
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Inhale House. Remember that record with Skills? Dun, 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 dun. Skills was just going in. Yeah, you know, had a really. Then, of course, I had the classic record. Let's just listen to the chorus.
They try to put me out, but I'm top in my game. Walk by the streets and they calling my name. Nobody, I say nobody. Writing my raps all day by the corner. Don't give a I say what I wanna. Nobody, I say nobody. They try to put me out, but I'm top in my game. Walk by the streets and they calling my name. Nobody, that's me, that's me, that's I say nobody, that's me, that's me, that's me. Writing my raps all day by the corner. I don't give a I say what I wanna. Nobody, that's me, yes sir. I say nobody, that's me, now listen.
Nah, that was a jam. So it was a really good album. So that album, people don't just rock with it. I thought it was hip hop. It's not hip hop. I'm not listening to it. It's
Yeah.
sold out. And then people didn't really appreciate it for what it was. My best track on the album is actually a song called My Brother, featuring Eve Ura. You guys can go and listen to it. We'll probably play it at the end of this episode. But listen to it, My Brother, featuring Eve Ura. The writing of the song, the production, the chorus, I think it's a perfect record. Another album is Davido's debut album. It's a solid debut album.
Critics killer. Critics
Man,
kill
people
him.
didn't
There
just
was
like
no
it.
chance. I love the album.
They
I'm like, there's
killed-
nothing wrong here.
They
This is what
killed
you
that
do.
album.
Yeah.
Ah man, no. They killed before the album landed. They had killed.
They try to
Yeah.
put me out, but I'm
Nah,
top
cut it
in
out.
my
Cut it out. They killed the album, bro. They killed. Nah, man. Remember this record from the album?
That album had a lot of background. No, jam.
Shout out
I
to
love
Malik Berry.
this song. I love this song.
This is my best song of the album.
The Bring It Love.
Hey,
God.
what's funny, yo?
You know why I like this era of
BD bomb
Afrobeats?
like worry, yo.
You know
Ah,
why I like this
man.
era of Afrobeats?
Why?
They were going for hits. They didn't care. The producer lack me beats. Me, I just make a banger. I
They
don't
were
care.
just going in. They
I'm
were
not
just
I'm
going
not
in.
over singing. Let me just knock the beat for me.
The song is
No.
such a jam.
That song
Mali
is
Berry.
jam. No.
You know, see, the reception of this album was so bad. Davido shelved like 3 music videos he had already shot. Like he just
Yes.
moved on.
Yeah.
This record, New School Kids, and one other record where he
Yeah.
featured, I think it
There were
was
3 music
Shino
videos.
Rambo that rapped.
And
They
there exists
eventually, it leaked
it's
eventually.
on a random account on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on a most random account on YouTube.
You know, no. That was a good album as well. There was that, and of course, there was also the D'banj,
Let me
D'banj
see that one.
presents
That
Kingsman.
one. That one.
Bro,
Yeah.
I remember meeting Osagie at a, was it Nigerian Idols or one of those shows?
mhm.
And Osagie told me that album is not good.
The Kingsman.
No, the videos album, the videos are
I told you the video's album is not good. It's not possible.
Yes,
It could be possible.
that's what
Back
you
then,
told.
we were
That's what
listening to
Osagie
different
told me
music.
at that time.
I said the
That
album
I
is
didn't
not
like-
good.
that I didn't like the album. Blah 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 blah. I said,
It's not
this album
possible.
no bad. Oh." I said okay. Oh.
No, Steve, this thing you're doing is
What I
is
told Osagie
libel.
that is, if Whiskey releases this album will be good. People don't just like the video. Osagie no agree.
I said this album is not good.
Yes.
It could be possible because a lot of us said wild shit about Davido's
No,
early
but
days.
but I told you to review the album, Ayo, and you
Yes,
probably
I
gave
did.
it a good review, and we agreed to it. Did we
Yeah,
have any
yeah.
issue with this album? Like, did I say, oh,
No,
I don't like your
no.
review?
I think I was like a 305 or 3.5 over 5. One of those things. Yeah. I like the album.
Steve, are you
But
sure
I
I
don't know.
said that?
Yes. I'm sure, Sha. Maybe I'm missing it up, but I'm sure.
Wow.
I might be missing it up, Sha. Or
Wow.
maybe you didn't say it was bad or something. But I remember saying that if Whiskey releases this album,
yeah.
it will be better received because people like Whiskey.
I would
You know, at the
definitely
time,
I would
too.
definitely have agreed with you on that because it's true
Mhm.
because the video
Yeah.
wasn't getting the best
But
fandom.
at that time where people
Yeah.
didn't like it, you know.
Do people still like you?
No, of course, the videos perception have changed over the years. There's still that your papa get money stuff, like, you come from a rich home, blah 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 thing. But I think on the general, like, people, like, because he has
Yeah,
shown
people
his
fuck with him now.
personality,
Yeah.
people fuck with him a lot. That's why he's the video now. you know.
001. No be beans now.
Yeah.
Nah, no be smelting.
I remember that trauma thing was a big deal, even like above, like even the trauma thing was so popular that I remember you guys now. My mom telling me that she saw Choma My Lover in an airport. Like describing her by like saying
Yeah,
Choma
that
My
thing
Lover.
is-
That means the
That is
the
mainstream.
record
Mainstream.
is like my mom we call her Kumi's wife. Like she's deeper life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get, like,
So for you to
know
get to her.
for her to know that there's something called Trauma My Lover, it means that like the
It's
thing
a-
broke
it's a
to
big
her,
deal.
like it's a big deal. Like
Guess what?
my mom is not consuming anything like that.
Steve, my boss of mine. Guess what? I was at a lounge and this lady was talking to a man, right? And she was using Davido and Choma's relationship as the reason why Yoruba men should always date Igbo women. She was arguing based off that
That
assurance
relationship.
record.
That's
Say,
relationship.
look at
Yeah,
it.
assurance.
This is why we need intertribal marriages. I'm like, God, now wow. Davido doesn't know what he has done with that record, with that relationship, man.
Yeah, but even
Yeah.
Davido himself is he's a product
He's
of
half
a.
Igbo.
Yeah, it's
The
African.
Yoruba Igbo. Okay, the mom is Igbo.
It's not
He do-
Igbo. She's from Edo State also.
Yeah, but
Okay,
he
Edo
speaks.
State. Okay,
He kind of
okay,
speaks
okay.
Igbo very well. Sha.
Who?
Uh-huh.
Who?
Davido now. In try
No,
pass
it's not David.
average Yoruba. Okay.
You sure say you are mixing it up with his uncle. His uncle speaks Igbo
Oh
very
yeah,
well.
yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Very, very well.
It's excellent.
Even if
it's excellency.
Davido speaks a bit of Igbo, I probably just compared him with himself.
Yes, actually, yeah, true that.
So the bar wasn't very,
Yeah.
It's not even.
It's not
high
as if it's
at all.
high. Yeah,
it's not high at all.
At
It's not
all,
advanced speaking.
at all.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's all good, guys. We're talking about how money laundering has disrupted real
Real
estate in
estate.
Lagos, right? So I saw Aproko Doctor's tweet. He said he was talking about it as well. Then someone posted a video of a guy who has dedicated his whole time now, right? He's an interior designer. They call him the very dark man of the real estate business in Nigeria. He just goes and picks different houses they've advertised for millions of dollars in Lagos, and he just goes through the house and compares it to a house that is what maybe in America or in the UK or Canada that is what maybe 1/16 of
Everything.
the property in Lagos, right? And
And
then
looks
compares
better.
and says, guys, look, the last one I watched, it said this thing looks like a hostel.
Oh, the 60 million naira on.
Yeah, $60 million. Say this thing looks like a
60
hostel.
million
That
dollars.
one was hilarious.
I think in
Because
money
if I had
laundering,
$60 million, right?
yeah,
You know how many houses I'm copying in?
yeah, they're just trying to show like social proof. Like, if you advertise a house for $60 million and you move in $10 million into your account, oh, I sold
You
the house.
say-
I sold it below market rate anyway. Look at us advertising the house for 60 million. Like, those are like the trails and the
Yeah.
proof that they show. It's just
That were in the business.
it's like it's a criminal, like it's a criminal enterprise, to be honest. I'm
It
telling
reminds
you,
me-
to be
It
honest.
reminds
It's
me
just,
of that episode in Narcos where Pablo had to create a taxi business to launder his money. At one point, his partner came and said, "Bro, this is impossible because we are making, according to the books, we are making too much money that nobody will believe that this is from a taxi business because they couldn't wash all the money. Come on now, at the end of the day, bro, that's Nigeria for you."
It's a lot of money
to wash money in like a country, like a developed system like that, is very, very hard. Nigeria is like, you look at it, Nigeria, and it's very easy.
Nigeria's a haven.
It's very easy.
to wash money in Nigeria is
Yes,
that's-
now it's the
that-
easiest thing,
bro. Real estate.
exactly.
This real estate we're talking about.
Are you only
someone's-
talking about real
You're
estate?
right. Someone goes and says, "Oh, this is worth 30 million." Someone says, "I purchased it for 30
Exactly. I purchased it
It's-
for 30. Yeah.
Or
no.
another easy one you can do: set up a record label and sign artists, and then send the artist to go and
and send
perform.
the artist, thank you.
And then the artist charges, ridiculous amount, maybe 5 million or the 10 million naira or 15 or 25 million
Yeah.
naira, and then you route
Yeah.
the money back. Or see, if you are a party goer and you like to hang around people,
You
just
don't knock
open,
the-
just
You
open,
don't like the one where they talk
just
about.
open a nightclub.
Yeah.
Just open a nightclub and people can come and spend in air
Shout out
quotes.
to Shout out to
spend.
Power. Power showed us the way. There's an episode in season 1 where they literally
Yeah.
showed.
Where they,
Yeah.
where they
How they
literally showed it. So yeah.
Yeah. So money
just,
laundering is actually going to be easier in
It's too easy in Nigeria.
in a large
Easy-
country
easy
like
in
Nigeria.
in other parts in
easy,
Europe
yeah.
like this, bro. To put cash into your account, first of all, they charge you. Then you can't do it.
Yep.
Then you
You
can't
can't
do it more
even-
than 3 times in a month. There are some,
Yes. That's
stringent.
some ridiculous.
Bro, there are places where if you pay for something
Even
in
the
cash, like a house
even
or a car,
even the concept of just arriving in a country and changing the currency. You just get into Lagos, you leave the airport, just right there at the airport. Aboki can change $1 million for you instantly without
On
a
the streets.
paper tra-
You dey-
without
you
a
dey pay?
paper trail.
you they pay.
Like without a paper trail.
Hmm.
Do you get like nothing? Nobody's taking your passport, nobody's taking your number, nobody's taking anything.
Cannot
Give me
be
the dollars.
investigated.
Nothing.
It's
Money
like the
has
dark.
never
like
is,
that.
is the real life version of the dark web.
It's dark web.
Yeah.
It's like, I think like anytime I go to like a foreign airport and I'm changing money and there's this proper paper trail. They're taking your passport, they're asking you the source of the money, you're explaining to them, I just came in, this is the dollars I brought in cash. Okay, they're taking your name, taking your passport. Like just
Those
being
dollars have every note has a unique ID
a
that is.
unique identifier. Thank you.
So
You get,
even
like,
if that cash, if they see it anywhere, they can still put it in the system and backtrace
and backtrace it, yes.
and to say, oh, it was Steve that picked this thing at the airport. Then they can go to
Thank
Steve
you.
and start investigating.
I'll start investigating.
You're
You know,
right.
so like it's just like anytime I travel, like I just think about Nigeria, I'm like, man, this country is just, and that's why people, and that's one of the reasons people like it. Like, Nigeria, you can like, I say for a fact, like Nigeria is a country where, there's a certain level that you get to, you can never be poor because, like, especially for like a street smart level, like where you just understand the system. Like, it's a very, very, very
You see the loopholes.
encouraging system for any sort of thing to happen. Do you get? That's why we use say that word. Nigeria is the only place in the world where people can become millionaires or billionaires overnight.
Mhm.
Nobody's becoming millionaires or billionaire overnight legitly. It doesn't happen like that. Like that's not how the world is set up. Do you get?
It's not set up that way at all.
Bro, ages ago, the
Bro.
popular Ezego in Onitsha, right?
Yeah,
This guy was an
Ezego.
arm robber. This guy was an arm robber in Onitsha, popular arm robber in Onitsha, but like disturbing the people.
Yeah.
They caught his crew. He escaped to Lagos. About 6 years or 1 year later, he came back as a ridiculously rich guy, and it became like he was celebrated. Like he came back,
Bro, of course, you
dashing
knew him
money,
now.
building
Yeah.
houses. Like in a year, what did you do?
1 year.
And you know
What
the scary
year?
thing?
Like
I want
what
to
did
know.
you do?
I want to know the coins on Binance that you were flipping. I want to know. I want
You
to
know
know
the
what you
scary
were
thing?
trading.
You know the scary thing about that thing? Nobody will ask him, where did you get your money from? Because that's how we are as
Ask
a
her.
society.
That's
As long as
Nigeria.
he has money, yeah,
They
no
will
values
celebrate him.
anymore. They'll celebrate him now. They'll do
Nigeria,
Thanksgiving in church.
I remember being in
Nigeria
a
is a
conversation that time.
haven of fraud and
I'm
corruption.
telling you.
Yeah.
I remember having that conversation that time. I'm like, I remember like I was young, I like 1997, 98, 99, like was that right? You know, I remember like the conversation around that time saying, he came back, blah blah blah. So growing up, blah, blah, so like later in life, I always think about it like, how did the guy make money? They say he went to Lagos. How did they make money? That bro, Ezego was ridiculous, like
Rich, bro.
his display of wealth. Like I'm like, where this guy get money from? I think about it even recently when someone mentioned him on there's this video of like these Igbo guys together. I think they were in a party, they were in a funeral or something or a wedding. And someone now retweeted the tweet and said, "Oh, this is just another era of Igbo people. We saw this with Ezego, blah blah blah." And I remember this Ezego again. I said, "Oh, Ezego,
God.
how did this guy
triggered you.
make money?" It triggered me because
Ezego.
Ah,
What's that?
Ezego.
That means king of money now.
That's king,
king
of
of
money.
money. Yeah, you know. So like Chave, you just think about it. So, yeah, I remember coming back.
Najawi.
I remember coming from Nigeria my last trip because I converted my naira to dollar, brought it here. I went to the bank straight and I had to fill a form. Where you bring the money from? I'm like, oh, I traveled though, blah blah blah. Like I traveled to Nigeria, like where I stay, like my main country, blah blah blah. You know, like you see those steps and you know that you're just thinking about like anytime we discuss crime, money laundering, I think about that concept here. I'm like, to do those kind of things in countries like developed economies would be very very difficult. I also remember the banking ecosystem in Nigeria, how it is, like it's just
Man, no man.
but it's just like we have to.
Man, no man.
It's part of this. Is also part of why we are where we are as a country. And these things are like you can't let me think. Like it's not film. Life is not film trick. It's real. Any iota of like crime or illegality that exists that is encouraged in a society, it cascades to the society just being what it is.
Yeah.
So our problem plenty, to be very honest.
The choke.
The choke.
All right. Speaking about money laundering, did you guys read the Wired article?
Bro.
The piece, very interesting, long
The Binance piece
done
Yeah.
on the Binance executive who was arrested and
Jailed.
well, not jailed, but held captive.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys read the story? What's his name again?
Of course.
I read the story.
Tim.
Is it Tigran or
Sorry, no.
Tigran
Tigran Gambaryan.
Gambaryan. Yeah,
the
Tigran
the Armenian American who was detained by the EFCC in Nigeria for close to a year or like
Yes.
several months.
Several months.
He
Yeah.
and
Long months.
he along with another colleague who's a British Kenyan who found a way to escape and return to Kenya. I just finished reading the article on Wire.com. If you guys haven't read it, please go check it out. Wire.com requires a subscription, but I think you get one free article.
You get one
a
free
month.
article. Yeah.
And that was my free article for the month. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I read it and Nigeria's a shit show, bro.
Yeah, that's
The
what struck me in that
allegations-
story.
Yeah.
What struck me in that story was
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
the guy, because he's from America, this is someone who has worked with like the CIA.
Bro,
like,
it's the reputation of the guy.
you know, like this is somebody who has worked with like law agencies
Law
in,
enforcement
in
agency.
America, law enforcement agency. He has helped recover like illegal
He's
funds,
helped.
money.
He's helped.
He has
Let's just put it like this.
discovered
He's helped recover close to $1 billion
$1
US
billion
dollars.
US dollars. Like he's a
Whether in
good guy.
cryptocurrency, whether in like US
Or
cash,
exactly
he shut
stuff
down
like that.
dark webs. He shut down markets. He's
He
arrested.
traced money
There was,
to like
there was one
my-
platform that was
targeting
built
minors,
on,
have you?
yeah, child pornography.
Yeah,
They
child
went
pornography.
with his help. They were able
Expertise.
to arrest
He traced
300
it.
over 300 people globally who had
This is
downloaded or purchased.
this
So
is a
I'm
guy
not
of
working with law
reputable
enforcement.
person. So what struck me in that story was that the
Yeah.
guy thought he was dealing with same people.
Do you
And
understand?
that's why he came.
Oh,
That's why
I've
when
been-
when he escaped the first time, not
Yeah.
escaped, and when he left the country the first time, he agreed to come back because he thought he was dealing with people who know how to follow due process, people who know how
I've
to like.
worked on that side of the table before. I understand
Yeah.
how it goes. Okay, guys, I'll
Yeah.
be here. We'll
I'll
get
be here. I'll support you.
We'll
I'll get
iron-
it done
we'll
for
iron
you.
everything out,
We'll iron
yeah.
it out, and he came back.
He
That was the
didn't
only thing
know.
that struck me because when I was reading the story and I saw that he came first and he traveled back to the United States. I'm like,
Because
why
I
did
didn't
this
know
guy come
that.
back? So when I was reading the story, I was like, oh, this guy thought he was dealing with the same people. He was.
Little
He
did he
didn't
know.
He didn't know.
That is the
He didn't
Federal
know
Republic.
Nigeria. Then the second thing that struck me was the house. See, little things, just the minor details, guys. The second thing that struck me was the house that they detained them, where they were staying, was supposed to be house of the NSA, the National Security Advisor. But because he has his own house in Abuja, he didn't stay in that apartment, right? And guess
Yeah.
what? That apartment, they're behind on the electrical bills and they didn't have lights.
No access to power.
Like,
Power will go off
bro, this is-
intelligently. The roof was leaking.
Bro, at that level, like this the
NSC.
level, like just imagine NSA,
Yes.
the National Security Advisor, the apartment, the house of the going back
That was
on
assigned to
electricity.
him.
They are assigned to him. Like this is just the details, bro. Like these are the things that give you a clue that you are dealing with people who are very like incompetent. Like that's just straight up mediocre.
Yeah.
You know, and
it
it's
shows
just
it shows the values
it's
of the
just sad.
country. Yeah.
yeah. It's just sad to be very honest.
And one thing we should note, which is super important, guys, which with these books I've been reading, is to know that it has been like this for a very long time. Do not think this
Yeah.
started.
No be today.
Do you understand? Do not think this started 5 years ago. Do not think this
No.
started 10
It
years
has been
ago.
entrenched in the foundation.
It
of
has
this
been
country.
like this for a very long time, guys. That's one thing we need to note. So, you know,
That's sad.
when people say, oh, let's go back to our very good old days. No, there was no good old days.
There were no good old days, bro.
Do you
Nigeria
understand?
was created on blood.
It's just been terrible. It's been incompetent. It's been corrupt. Of course, all these are allegations. Federal government of Nigeria has come out to release a statement saying that
That's so
they'd never asked for any bribe. None of their officials asked for any bribe. And
None of the
what they did
lawmakers
was
too.
to the letter of the law. You guys can go and read the wire.com article and really just go in there because it's a very in-depth story. This man almost lost his life. You know, a man of this
was ill.
repute, what he has done, the amount of money he has recovered, how he has worked with law enforcement globally. This is the same kind of person that almost lost his life in Nigeria. And again, guys, I don't know what to say. I don't want to sound like a pessimist on every episode of this
Yeah, bro.
podcast, but it's sad to read something like this. And what is sad is the damage this causes in the international space, from foreign direct investments to, you know, and relations with the
International
government,
relations. Yeah.
international relations, or even just private companies wanting to invest in other private invest in companies in Nigeria. So you look at, oh, I'm a crypto startup now. I've come with something innovative. I'm looking for people to fund me, and then stories like this will always dissuade people's opinions, or just even give them second thoughts about investing in
Will
any company
discourage
in the
them,
country. Yeah, and eventually discourage them from. And they say, you know what, let's Ghana there, there's Kenya there, there's South Africa there. Let's go and do what we have to do there. And so
Yeah.
you're chasing people away. And I guess this is where Doc Nato and I will have an argument, because if Davido, like, I want to understand what does more damage: Davido talking about granting an interview and saying things are effed up,
Or
or
a
this
published
story
article on Wired.
because somebody requested for $150 million. Like, what does more damage? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, what does more
I
damage?
understand what you're saying. Yeah, I understand
know,
what you're
Because I
saying.
can
And
bet you
yeah,
that article has gone around Silicon Valley. It has gone
This-
around Silicon
bro,
Valley. It has gone
wire.com.
around. Yeah. It's
Wire.com.
wire.com.
It's
Bro,
everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in their
everywhere.
newsletters. It's everywhere. They are going to print it in their hard copy.
Copy.
It's
Yeah.
going to be on coffee tables.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's also the story is coming from the subject is somebody who's like somebody of repute. Like he's not just an ordinary person.
It's not just a random
And
American.
It's just
man.
not just
He's
a
of
random
high standing.
American. It's a
Guy
like
worked in the
someone
IRS.
who has a track record of excellence and legitimacy. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, so this is really, really sad, and you know what's funny? Because anytime something like this come up online, you see the lovers of Nigeria, right? Like and
The
that's
ones,
why
that have the ones that have the flags in their bio.
I remember talking to one of them. You know, talking to one of them. He came on. I think he came on my DMs and was he had like a financial request. I'm like also, and we sorted that out and we're just gisting about it. I'm like, bro, you have to dedicate your life into something meaningful because you are just here on you're just here on Twitter. Like we're just having like a long conversation. I'm like, see, you have to get serious with it because we are here every day, just championing the government, doing stuff, and this is someone, and he's a good guy because he believes that he really believes that these people are fighting for his cause. Look, Binance is destroying the economy. People are doing fraud. People are doing this. I'm like, bro, do you know how much I've made on Binance? I'm not doing fraud. I'm simply trading.
Bro, Binance
Bro,
has
you
destroyed the economy. Do you know
Exactly.
how many of your corrupt politicians were using the platform?
So thank you. Like, so I started breaking this thing down for him to say,
And to be honest,
Yeah.
what they were doing on the platform wasn't illegal. They were just
it wasn't
moving their
illegal. They were just
wealth
moving
and
their
stolen
illegal
wealth.
wealth into.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Like
And this guy is here to help you. This guy is here to help you to say, you know what? Let's edit this system to see
Why
what's
did he
happening.
come back?
Why did he come back?
Because
He came back to help.
he came back because he thought the government was going to work with him in finding out the people
finding
who
out what is
requested
happening.
for the
Thank
$150
you.
million and say, you know what, let's catch these guys.
Let's
Let's clean up the system. I'm here to help you out. You know,
like,
and if there are
it's
any
like-
corrupt things going on, if anybody is like laundering money, whatever, like I can
Yeah.
help you smoothen out the process.
the guy.
But what
the guy
did
would be
what did the
like-
Nigerian government want? They wanted the
They wanted
the
to-
data of every
Yes,
Nigerian
everyone
using the platform.
Exactly. Where is that? Where is that
That's
even
a very
allowed?
scary request. That's
Then,
very scary.
He's also in the school of people where shut down every dollar account in this
Yeah,
country.
yeah,
Why
you-
would somebody be having dollar account? I'm like, bro, that is why you are poor. Because this is how you are. This is how you think. You are like, how can you tell me that? Why are people using dollar accounts? Like, I have dollar accounts. This is what I use it for. Like, you explain this thing, you be like, okay. I'm like, the people you are even supporting, you are fighting for, they're the one killing you.
See,
And you don't know, and you are hurting other Nigerians.
My
Do you
own
know that
is
if they
that-
shut down dollar accounts, it will hurt me? How does it benefit the ecosystem? How does it benefit the economy?
They can't
And I
explain.
and I explain this thing to these people to say the people that you are coming online every day to support to defend
the
with
ones
your life,
using this
they are
platform
the
the
ones
most.
using this platform to they're the ones killing the economy, not Binance, not anything.
How many
You
million
know,
dollars does Steve, I, and regular Nigerians,
Exactly, and regular
9 to 5ers,
Nigerians, how much are we trading?
How much are we trading?
How much are we putting there?
How many? How much?
You get so. I looked at him.
Are
I'm
we
like,
trading
bro,
up to $1 billion?
Do you know how empowering Binance has been to Nigerian youth? Like, bro, there was one time in our club, the only thing we talk about every time we finish playing football was cryptocurrency. Like how we're just free people. You put a coin, like a week later, we're taking out money. Like 2020, 2021 was like really, really good period for us. Like
I won't lie
people
to
were
you,
buying
my brother.
cars. Like people were buying cars off crypto. Do you get why people are serious with their life? You're online claiming that it's destroying the economy. My brother, go and do something with your
I
life.
know the
remember
funny
and
listening
move
to
on.
Ayo.
The issue of this dollar card is pissing me off, and even our normal cards. I had to close down my subscription with Google because I was tired
Yes.
of using Wuru Wuru every month to
You
find
are
a
looking for
fucking
ways
platform
to subscribe.
bro, and I'm just here as a bloody Nigerian trying to start up trying to continue my life. You know, if you have international clients now, just the way, and you can't do that. You can't do the most basic thing with your bank cards. At the
Before
end of the
Coursera
day.
did a Nigerian gateway, the Nigerian payment gateway, we couldn't subscribe to Coursera for. I was like,
Yeah.
I also told that guy, do you know how much this is impacting people? People use this platform every day to upskill, to learn things that will give them money, to help their life. they can't do that because of you're telling them to shut down Naira accounts, which eventually means that they'll shut down the Naira cards. Does that make sense to you? So when I explain this thing on a personal level and they get it, I'm like, why can't you even get it on yourself, like without really explaining? And it's because they're not they've not gotten to a certain level in their life where they are being impacted by all these policies. Now, poor man,
Exactly.
they cry past. You see rich people in Nigeria that are chilling.
That
They don't
balling.
complain. The reason they don't complain because the system benefits them. So
They
look
love
for a
it.
way to tap. Exactly. Instead of coming online to tell me that Binance is killing Nigeria. Why are people using dollar accounts in Nigeria? It just shows. When I see comments like that, I'm like, man, you need help. To be
You know,
very
one thing
honest.
I've noticed. One thing I've noticed is that if you're not informed about a certain thing, right?
Yeah,
You will, when you consume misinformation, no matter where it's coming from,
it's
you
getting to you.
you have a tendency to believe it.
Yes.
So if you don't
Yes.
understand
Yeah.
how trading works, if you don't even understand how cryptocurrency works, if you've never signed up on Binance, when
You will
a
never.
very
It's true.
dark man comes out, which he did, and says, "These Binance guys, now them they destroy this economy."
They are destroying our country.
I'm telling you, you see, as then shut the thing down, dollar start to dey go down again. You don't notice because you as a
Because we are
media
ignorant.
consumer, if you are
Yeah.
ignorant, if you're not aware, you will be easily misinformed, and then you start to create those conversations around with your peers who are
Yeah.
equally, uninformed, and then they are
Yeah.
misinformed. I
Yeah.
remember listening to one Twitter space. I sent it to the group. We're listening, and this guy was saying, "Why do we need dollar accounts? Everybody shut down the dollar accounts." And he's just saying that now there are two sets of people there. There are some that also have dollar accounts that are just putting out misinformation there because they've been paid, or
Yes.
etc., or they
Obviously.
are
Yeah.
aligned with a certain political party, which is the most
Exactly.
irritating one because
Irritating one. Yeah.
you're aligned with a certain political party, and no matter the policy or whatever, even to the detriment of Nigerians, you go ahead and support it because your allegiance must be with the political party.
Always. Yeah.
Yep.
There are some
Yep.
people here that would argue against this story that Wire.com
Of
put
course.
out
Of
and
course
tell
now.
you
So
that, of course, they needed to pick him. And then you ask them, okay, what about the 150 million bribe? And then, they can't
They'll still
answer.
spin it again.
They'll
Yeah.
spin it, because
Yep.
I must align with the party.
Yeah.
To the
But,
detriment of the country that should benefit everybody, including you and your family.
so it's sad. It's sad. Look it's a very bad story. It's a bad rep for Nigeria. It's a bad rep.
It's so bad, bro.
It's a bad rep.
Every paragraph or every point you see in that story
Was
just
an
shake your head.
embarrassment.
From his
That's-
prison ordeal when he met Abakari in
To
prison.
Abakari also living like a
Abakari also
don
living like a don in prison. They said his wife brings him food every day.
for the
blah, blah, blah. I'm
guards,
like,
everybody.
come on,
That
like,
do you understand? She brings it for the prisoners and for the guards.
Prison
and for the
is
guards.
prison in Nigeria for a rich man is like what Escobar had in his own prison, where they built his own
Yep.
prison. He was playing table tennis. He invited Maradona for a football match. He was bringing in women. Bro, forget, in this country, your greatest crime, your only crime is that you are
It's
poor.
poverty. It's
If you are
simple.
poor, you are nobody in this country.
Yeah,
And you
nobody
die.
in this country.
That's so sad.
But
Yeah.
what also annoys me is that is the poor people these people use for their agenda.
Of course.
Yes, because you need an army. You need
Because
an
they are
army
not
of
informed.
zombies.
They are not informed.
They're not informed. And that's why they will never ever invest in education.
Yeah.
This thing is 360. These people are
Because-
playing
Yeah.
5D chess. And here we are always arguing about no,
See,
it's umbrella.
growing
No,
up-
tomorrow is broom.
Growing up, right? Growing up, the first thing they will tell you about a big man in your neighborhood is that when a big man he get money.
Yes,
That's
so
the first thing they will tell you, that he has money. So that's why you must respect him.
You must
or anything
respect
he
him.
says must
Yep.
go because he was a big man and he had money.
Yes.
I started to grow up and, I started to see some of these people. Now, I'll characterize these people well because as I'm explaining it, don't think about one fat old man who just gets his way with this. That's not how I want to think about it. I want to think about it in different ways. These people come in different shapes and sizes. There are some that come in the size of, I'm an MD in my bank. I'm also a deacon in church. I look like I uphold the law. I'm well to do. I have 2 cars. I
Upstanding
have
citizen.
drivers. Upstanding citizen, right? And then you look at all these people and everybody respects them. But then they do some things or they say some things which are fundamentally wrong, right? At the end of the day, But because of the kind
Their
of aura
status.
and status they carry, everybody just says, untouchable. We must greet them. We must respect them. And I started to argue against this. And I said, no, I don't believe in what this person is saying. Not at all. And then I now started having issues with people around me because they're like, no, you can't do that. You can't say that, etc, etc. You go to, what they call landlord association, right? And somebody was saying utter BS. And you want to say, but that doesn't make sense. Can we do? Everybody will tell you, shut up.
They first tell you that you don't have a house on the streets, that you're a tenant.
I mean, I wasn't a tenant. My father owned the house. So,
Okay.
You know, so stories like this will let you know that should teach you like never be don't allow yourself to be a tool of any Nigerian, like all these people in leadership in Nigeria, because guess what, these people are looking out for themselves. Why they are upfront claiming that they are purging they are purging any company or organization or anything that's hurting the economy. They are obviously, apparently, allegedly trying to enrich themselves.
they're evil. Just
$150
evil.
million paid in cryptocurrency.
Bro, that was the wildest thing that paid in. Do you understand? This
The same cryptocurrency that you are championing, you are supporting them to ban. Don't allow yourself to be a tool.
a round of applause for
Go and look for a way to better your life.
for Nigeria.
I saw them complaining about Binance. I'm like, do you know how many young Nigerians this thing empowered? Binance alone. I work with somebody now who championed a lot of like the whole Binance, who works for Binance, right? He was part of the people who made like Binance really widely adopted in Africa.
Yeah.
And I've never had this conversation with him, but I have that respect for him because of my personal experience with Binance. Remember one time that you were the one that even told us that Binance have cryptocurrency courses on their platform that we can go and. So every day, like 2020, every day, almost every day, I used to take up like one YouTube course on Binance. I just finish it up and move on in my life. Like it was so empowering.
Cryptocurrency evangelism, I've tried.
No, you don't try.
I've tried.
You finish work.
I've tried this cryptocurrency evangelism. I've begged.
The only thing that remained was for Osagie to go on the streets to carry megaphone and say, "Please, I'm wearing April."
I now use my Coindex app now.
Coinbase. Yeah.
Coinbase, sorry. You stopped working in Nigeria for a while.
Everything stops working in Nigeria.
The first time we started using it was because of you.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Wallet,
That's why you sent the Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's just interesting. Yeah.
Why is it that anytime young Nigerians create something innovative that works for them where they can get money, the next thing is the federal government or state government coming to shut it down?
When people are
why
poor,
are they always against innovation?
When people are poor, you control them. These people, let me tell you, these people are.
It's all about control.
These people already have like a system they've taken advantage of. So when something comes that threatens that system, that means you are threatening them. Yeah, that's it. It's simple. You know.
It's all about control at the end of the day.
It's
control, and they want to use those systems. They want to use those platforms.
Thank you. Then they now want to learn about the system so that they will be able to start taking advantage of it and start using it.
Just further enrich themselves.
In my experience with trading USDT in Nigeria, like the most people who have the most volumes are connected to politicians.
Yeah, that's where they were moving the money.
That's where they were moving the money. All of them.
Are you going to keep that money in cash, or are you going to keep it in words of cash, or are you going to keep it in the banks where they can easily trace them? No, you buy USDT. Most of these guys, you have millions of dollars in USDT.
Thank you. You guys were the ones who came to corrupt the system. Then you're complaining, he's hurting there. Somebody you are inviting somebody to Nigeria to help you investigate and help you really put the system in order.
It was a shakedown.
The only thing that you allegedly it was a shakedown. It didn't make
shakedown.
Sense.
It was a shakedown, which is sad.
And another sad thing is that the Nigerian government put up their own statement on social media, and I looked through the responses and the quotes. I'm like, look at the state of you people. Nobody believed you. Nobody believed it. Nobody. Everybody was just
moved on now.
People were just clowning them. Do you get? So what does this say about you that the people you are leading, they're not taking your side, they're taking the side of a foreigner? You failed. That's failed leadership. You failed in your role as a leader. And that's why it's happening.
I'm even looking for the statements.
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
I also don't like the tone in which statements from Nigeria released.
There's
I don't like
this
the tone.
arrogance that comes with this.
The
There's
tone
no
is
place
very arrogant,
that
and I
it
don't give
seems
a
that,
fuck about you
they're
guys.
talking to their to their slaves. They're not talking to people.
But they're talking to
who-
their subjects and slaves now.
Exactly. They're not talking to people who they are accountable to. That's how
Yeah.
the statement is. Like, I beg, as I'm like, that's how you know that these people are not accountable. These people, they don't rate us.
Yeah, then also
They
it's
don't
not
rate us.
written with they don't dot their I's and cross their T's in the statement. They look
Oh, yeah.
half-baked.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen the statement now. It was tweeted from the government of Nigeria's Twitter handle. Disregard
Yes.
falsehoods being peddled by Tigran Gambaryan against Nigerian government officials, FG. First of all, the word peddled, like, there's still that, old Nigerian
Dismissive
and no lingo that
language.
they use.
Yeah.
I know the people writing these things. Steve, we know them. We worked in media.
We know
They're
them,
a
of
group
course,
of people,
now.
and they're still.
Of course.
Anyways,
Yeah.
the Nigerian government federal government of Nigeria notes with concern the outrageous allegations, misinformation, and defamatory statements being disseminated by Tigran Gambaryan, an American personnel of Binance. Of Binance. Do you understand? Like, as a journalist, like, the first thing you do in your first paragraph is okay, in the second paragraph, maybe you went and said, "Oh, Binance is a cryptocurrency." Nothing like that. Of Binance,
Nothing like that.
you just assume everybody should know Binance. Do you understand? Of crypto
Yeah.
or Binance,
Yeah.
full name just of Binance. Who
Shoddy
was
work.
recently tried in Nigeria for financial crimes, while the FG is hesitant to engage Mr. Gambarian, given the high-level diplomatic intervention that resolved his case. We're obliged to set the record straight to stop his falsehoods from gaining grounds. The first visit by Mr. Gambarian and his colleagues to Nigeria was discretional on their part, and the government was not officially involved. However, when the attention of the government was called to an alleged bribery demand during that trip, an investigation was immediately opened into it, though there was no formal complaint by anyone. Mr. Gambarian's second visit to Nigeria was part of a wider probe into the criminal manipulation of the Nigerian currency through peer-to-peer platforms like Binance, but the investigators were frustrated by the tactics deployed by Mr. Gambarian and his team. Mr. Gambarian was released by the Nigerian government in October 2024 on humanitarian grounds and following a high-level diplomatic intervention that ended with tangible benefits for Nigeria. The government rejected Binance's offer of a $5 million down payment in exchange for Mr. Gambarian's freedom in favor of a more beneficial settlement with the American government. Then goes on, etc.
Well, what was the beneficial whatever that that they agreed on? Because I've not seen any benefit.
They didn't also. Oh, please, I want to move on from this thing. I don't want.
Let's
I don't
move
want
on.
to-
Let's
I don't
move
want
on.
to
It's
spoil my
annoying.
Sunday.
It's
I don't want to
annoying.
spoil my Sunday. I don't want to spoil my Sunday. Let's move on to that. Let's talk about the Super Bowl.
Because
we don't want to talk about the USAID
Because
funding
to
Boko Haram. Osagie.
oh my
Have you
God.
received USAID money? So are you trying to shut us up? Why are you trying to avoid this story?
Why do people say USAID instead of USAID?
It's USAID.
because
I don't
AIDS,
say
it's
USAID.
AIDS. Because they help in HIV/AIDS, so maybe they believe say that aid now still part of yes,
I mean, the same thing, right? Do we want to talk about it? Yes, we want to talk about it. So
Let's just
they
briefly talk
are
about it.
springing allegations from several camps now. I don't know where the original source came from, but one of the strongest proponents of, or at least one of the strongest disseminators of this information is Nigerian journalist David Hundeyin, who is alleging that I think we talked about this last week, but is now
Last week,
alleging, based on a video that was released by a Republican senator, I believe.
Yes.
No. Alex Jones released a video of a U.S. Congressman Scott Perry
Okay.
talking about the misuse of USAID funds. That USAID
Okay.
was funding Al Qaeda, terrorists, Boko Haram, and stuff like that. You mentioned Boko Haram in
Okay.
passing. There's no detail. There's no explanation.
And other terrorist groups.
And other
across the
terrorist
world.
groups. Yeah.
In
To
some
put in
Southern
context, Alex Jones is like the very dark man of the USA. Can we say that?
Let's be
Bro.
fair to the very dark man.
I know, I'm just-
Let's be fair to the very
Let's
dark man
be-
because
let's be fair to the very dark man.
Let's
Alex
be very
Jones is
dark
wild.
man.
What
Alex Jones
says.
right now is paying
The Sandy
almost
Hook survivors.
millions of dollars to Sandy Hook survivors because he claimed that it wasn't real, like
That
a
they're child
shooting that
actors.
happened.
Okay,
They
okay.
involve
Let's just
child
say
actors.
let's just say this. Let's
Guy,
just
I
say
beg,
this.
there that man
Alex-
in learn. I beg, I just gonna beg you. Alex Jones
He's
is
actually
wild.
it's crazy. Alex Jones. Okay, for people who don't know, you can Google it. Alex Jones is a conspiracy theorist based in the USA. Right? He
Yeah.
also leans towards the Republican Party. And he
Yeah,
doesn't like the Democratic Party and doesn't like
Sorry,
the left.
before you continue,
Yeah.
Alex Jones was the only guy that left Piers Morgan speechless. Piers
Yes.
Morgan could not talk.
Piers Morgan
on
could
his
not
own
argue.
show. He could not argue.
Ah,
Because Alex Jones just a fire.
At some point, Alex Jones was banned from every social media platform. Like they
Yup.
you want to say, oh,
Like-
deplatform somebody. Alex Jones was the first person I saw they deplatformed. There was one episode
everywhere.
he did, and it was too wild, and then they deplatformed him from everywhere at the same
He's
time.
no longer. I'm not sure. It's only just on Twitter now. No, it's not
I
on
think it's only on
Instagram. It's
Twitter.
not on
It
YouTube.
It was
Yeah,
deplatformed everywhere.
yeah.
But you know, the wildest deplatforming is still Donald Trump's own. Everybody was
Yeah, that
deplatformed.
was
Uber
that was wild,
deplatformed
huh?
him.
I didn't like it.
Everybody
Yeah,
deplatformed. Yeah, that was the 2016. No,
There's
not
a
the
word.
2020 election.
There's something I heard from Gladiator 2, which is playing out now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you've not seen that movie.
No, I haven't. Yes.
Because you're not here. Okay. Why have you not seen it? You
I've not
annoy
had-
me for do you know you annoy me like with movies, like with movie takes and stuff like that.
How do I annoy you?
Like it's like I'm just playful.
No, I
like,
get what you're saying.
You know
because-
you
no,
and
no,
I
you annoy me as
know?
well, so it's fine.
I
But I just
know,
need to
I
know
know.
why you annoy. I know why you annoy me. I need to know why I annoy you.
You downplay some efforts too much. I don't like it. Come on, man.
No, you come up with some of the crappiest movies and series you've watched, and you try and heighten the hype. And I and Samson, I'm like, and even Dio now has caught up with your BS. And we're like, do you understand? We're like, what is he saying?
that was the last one to get on it. That discovered it, and that does not take me serious anymore.
Yeah, like this guy is hyping Night Agent. Is this something we will not be caught dead watching?
Night Agent 2 was so bad. I had to give it up to them. Say,
Yeah,
okay,
so Netflix creates terrible shows, man. Only a few of the shows are great. You see, Steve will just come and say, "Oh, mom, I'm watching one mad series now." I'll say, "What's it?" You'll say, "Blacklist." Do you understand? Raymond Reddington, really?
No, you people know me. I have a bias for like espionage.
Steve Stakes.
Anything CIA,
on the group.
FBI, anything.
Steve Stakes on the group are well documented, so we all
Do you
know.
understand? Oh, he will just say one series, and the series is like really bad writing. The pacing is off. Do you understand? And we're like, what's this? Like, see, number one person I respect, I mean, two people I respect, say Ayo, of course, because Ayo and I were always the ones going back and forth. And then when Samson joined, Samson's Take Two, I respect highly. Samson will even recommend him. He's the one that recommends the most shows right now.
Yeah.
You know, Samson will tell you, oh man, have you watched Silo? Silo is really good. Who recommended the agency?
I think it was him too.
Is that you know, he just said.
But the thing is that you people don't have confidence in me. That's why I don't recommend anymore. For example, the Day of the Jackal.
You have a track record.
I've watched it before Samson put it up there.
Really?
So what did you say?
Yes. Because you cannot rate me now.
And that's the problem.
Your past
and that's
your
the
track
problem.
record.
You watched the Day of the Jackal and you didn't feel confident enough to come and tell us that, guys, we should watch it. It means that you have a problem, because that's a really good
Even
show.
the agency, I started it. I had to stop because I wanted the season to be complete before Samson put it up.
Yeah, the
What is
agency
espionage? I follow this website. What is espionage? I'll get it and I'll watch it. Like, I like it. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good series.
Fassbender, Richard Gere, solid.
Anything with Fassbender, bro. You
know. Yeah. So there's something in Gladiator 2 when the guy said, "Power follows politics." Do you remember, Ayo?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was telling him about what will happen if this, he said, "No, don't worry. Power follows politics. Like the power goes to where politics is, and this is what I'm experiencing now with Donald Trump. The way everybody's aligning, like."
Bro.
Google Maps have changed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Companies are dropping their DEI initiatives. Everybody's just aligning quickly, quickly.
Do you know where I knew? Do you know where me I knew? His inauguration, where those tech giants were.
Where those guys sat down, I knew that alignment don't happen.
They all contributed millions of dollars to his inauguration.
Thank you.
So Amazon has signed a $40 million documentary,
which is what with the first lady,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Bro.
You know, so they are not joking. They're actually not joking. Anyways, back to this thing. So there's a whole now from that the theory has spawned that the US funded the terrorist group Boko Haram um, to carry out terrorist activities in
and to
Nigeria
destabilize Nigeria. Yeah.
and to destabilize Nigeria. And then the theory has grown from there. People are sharing videos, people are sharing this, people are sharing that. People are tagging Obama on Twitter, people are putting his picture up. He had an anniversary with his wife recently. They posted a picture of themselves. People have gone into the comment section, quoted it. There's nothing they've not done to Obama. He's just gonna be
Oh,
like, "What is
busy.
going on from Nigeria?" People have brought in the Chibok girls being abducted, 240 something women, young girls who were abducted. And said, "Oh, the whole agenda in which the Bring Back Our Girls campaign was designed by the US." All of that picture of, remember, Michelle Obama holding the big Bring Back Our
Bring
Girls
back our girls. Yeah.
plaque that has recirculated again. All of that is happening at the same time, saying they just wanted to get Goodluck Jonathan out of power so that APC can get into power. Now the pro APC guys, what I've just seen, which is interesting, is that I never thought I would see a pro Peter Obi pro Trump person.
Then plenty. Oh.
Like, I'm just seeing
That's
them for the first
that's
time because
yeah,
the agenda aligns. Do you understand? The
yeah.
agenda fully aligns, right? So I'm seeing all of that, and I don't know what to say, because here's one me I'm going to say. I don't have the details. I don't know what is going on.
Simple as
Has there
yeah.
always been U.S. interference in politics of other countries? Of course, yes,
Definitely. Well documented.
and well documented. So
With
that is not.
documentaries, papers, and everything. So if you want me
Yes.
to believe,
Has there been
show me
US
evidence.
interference in economies of other countries? Is well
Yes.
documented as well. You can, if you haven't, please go and read the Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It's a very popular book. It's a bestseller. Please go and read it. Right. This was my foray into understanding what geopolitics is like,
It's really
what
about, yeah.
and covert operations and blah 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 blah. You can go and read it.
How world powers use stuff to just manipulate
Yeah.
countries. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but can I say categorically this is what happened? I cannot say. One thing I would say is that they did not start, no matter what you want to say, the emergence of Boko Haram in Nigeria did not come from any other country. It came from
Thank you.
Nigeria. Right.
yes.
And I hope I can find it, because it's in Mark Solon's book. He does in the last book, not the last book he wrote, but the one about military rule, Soldiers of Fortune, from 1993 to 2003. He takes some time to break down the emergence of what we see today as evangelism, all the things that led to televangelism, all the things that led to like prosperity preaching. He did a fantastic job breaking down the both religions, like the emergence of both religions in the land. But he also said what he attributed to, and I'll look for the page and read it out to you guys now. But what he attributed to is that on the Christian side, right, while we saw the rise of evangelism and prosperity preaching
gospel,
was because of poverty in the land, and that these people took advantage. They took advantage because there was an absence of like leadership, except the military. There was a distrust for the military, and people longed to look for leaders. And these prosperity pastors rose to those positions and then drove prosperity into the land to saying, if you pray, you will be wealthy. If you pray, you'll be economically stable, right? He said on the flip side, while that was happening in the south, in the north, the version of what happened there was also a rise of clerics, a rise of a certain set of people who said, if we reset to the original version of Islam, like the original version of Islam, hardcore Islam, there's no filtering, there's no changing of laws. So whatever was written in the Quran is going to be followed, right? If we revert to that, there will be prosperity in our land as well. It is because we have deterred from that road is why we are facing what we are facing, why there's corruption, why there's, all of that is going on. So let's return back to this thing. Let us shed away Western education. Do you
Which is
understand?
Boko Haram. That's literally the meaning of Boko
Yeah,
Haram.
which is, the word. So let us return to this very thing that we are. And that is what gave birth to Boko Haram. It does a fantastic breakdown from how the first version of the extremists started. There was a guy who was the first person.
Which material is this? Sorry.
It's in Max Solon's Soldiers of Fortune. It's
Oh,
at
okay,
the
okay, okay, okay,
very
okay.
it's at the very end,
Oh, that's
when
true.
Obasanjo came into power
And
and
it
all
was
of
kind of
that.
Yeah, yeah,
predicting
yeah.
everything.
It's 2020, 2002. Yes.
Yeah.
Boko
So he
Haram
does
first recorded, yeah,
he does a
2002.
very breakdown. I'm going to look for it because there's just a page. So if you guys can just, give me your own thoughts
Mhm.
on it, and then I'll look for it and read it out for you guys.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Please go.
So I'm even going to start from, like, I remember way back when I was doing post science uni, like one of the elective courses, and this lecturer, very sound man, was a professor or doctor or something. He said that, that right now in Nigeria, and this was before Boko Haram even made that, um that we are lucky in Nigeria that so far we've not had extremists in the north who will use violence and terrorism to disrupt the nation. But he said a time is coming because of the level of poverty there, no jobs, and the rise of extremist preachers. There's a time that's going to come when we're going to have a lot of suicide bombings and violence in the country. And it happened. We also, as the thing rose and became, became a plague for Nigerians. This whole this whole statement that the US congressman made, right? It fits into that whole narrative of America is trying to destabilize other countries. And for some reason, there are Nigerians who believe that Nigeria is such a special country that America doesn't want to see the rise of Nigeria. There's that. I don't know why people believe that. In a country where you people do not have health care to take care of newborn babies, a country where you don't have enough resources to educate young people, you don't even have enough, there's not enough infrastructure. I do not see the reason why America is scared of Nigeria in any bit. But somehow we've been born with that whole mentality of Nigeria is African, Nigeria is the giant of Africa, and one day we'll rule the world. I'm still waiting for that day when we rule the world anyway. But I will not dismiss whatever theory or allegation or theory that is going on, right? The conspiracy theory. It's been well documented. World powers do this all the time. The reason why world powers become world powers is because they know how to interfere in the affairs of other countries to benefit their own agenda, their own country's agenda, right? But all I'm asking is, give me hard evidence. We've seen hard evidence over the time. If you look at what has happened to Cuba over the years, you can see how US did what they had to do to Cuba so that they could stop Cuba's growing influence in terms of communism within that space, because that's America's sphere of influence. America cannot have a communist nation at its backyard. It's not going to happen.
It's
And
not
that's why they
happening,
fucked
yeah.
up Cuba's economy on purpose. And you can read it. Same thing with Russia. What Russia is doing with Ukraine is not because of nothing. Vladimir Putin is of the belief that the old USSR has to come back together. And that is why he's going hard at Ukraine, because he knows if he gets Ukraine, then all the other dominoes will happen. This is what happens with world powers. And we can see evidence. Mine is, show me evidence. I do not want to see very funny scan documents, conjectures, guesswork. Show me step by step how this is being done. Right? And there, I'll believe. But until that day comes, I'll believe that I still have the opinion that Boko Haram came out of the vacuum that was created by our leaders, where they could not give resources to people who needed those resources. We are talking about jobs, we're talking about education. You cannot let people lie fallow all this while and think they will not turn to violence. It happened in the South. It's happening in the Southeast at the end of the day. It is normal. When you do not cater for a people, the young ones among them will rise and turn to violence. And that is what we are seeing across the nation. So until you can show me evidence from White House, bruh, nothing. I'm very sorry. I'm on the fence.
So to counter your points about the US negatively influencing, or interfering with Nigeria. Nigeria has always been the Nigeria is not like Colombia. Like we are aligned. Nigeria is has been very much aligned, especially since 1999 with America, in terms of ideology, in terms of these
I would say the 80s,
American
since we started using that democracy. It's
American oil and gas companies that dominates Nigerian oil and gas, like our pipeline, our oil and gas production pipeline. So I believe that, in fact, the main one of the, apart from getting soft power, one of the reasons why the America is big on AIDS and is also to protect themselves. Like, for example,
their
what's
interest.
America what America does, not just yes, what not just their interests, even themselves. What America does with healthcare across like developing economies is to ensure that there's no outbreak of disease, because any outbreak of disease, as in minute place like Congo, is still going to affect. Look, we saw how Ebola virus became like a word, like something that almost shut down the world. What's the COVID from China shut down the world. A tiny disease outbreak from anywhere, like a disease outbreak in any part of the world, is a threat to the world health. Do you like world health in general? So these are part of the things they try to prevent, to support people, to ensure that even them they are protected. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I don't see a need. I don't see the need for Nigeria, for America trying to like fund terrorism in Nigeria to destabilize Nigeria, because I don't understand it. Because one, Nigeria has been a powerful ally to Nigeria. The things that you think they're looking for, oil and gas, they already have it. So I don't see like I don't see the reason. I don't see it, to be very honest. Like from my own point.
Also, from a geopolitical stance, it doesn't make sense for you to destabilize Nigeria. If you destabilize Nigeria, Western Africa is gone,
it's gone,
and you're going
it's
to create
finished.
problems, and the trigger, the effects that will create across the continent. I can't remember one minister that said it, but she said that imagine there's a war in Nigeria. Where are 200 million people go to run to in this Africa? You are going to destabilize Africa at the end of the day. For me, okay, yeah, Osagie.
I mean, maybe not destabilize it to the point where they go to war, but maybe just
Oh yeah,
just destabilize it enough.
oh yeah.
Just
But,
create enough chaos.
Create enough chaos. We saw the fall of Libya and how it shaped the region. What it created.
Ultimately, though, oh, sorry.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it does make sense for the US to even support the unity of Nigeria.
Yeah,
but until you can show me in hard documents.
Yeah, not comments from Scott Perry, who's notorious for spreading like falsehoods, or a video from Alex Jones's Twitter account. Like we need to do better, to be very honest.
Yeah, let me read something that Mark Solon wrote in his book, Nigeria Soldier of Fortune. He said, in a country where the government failed to provide its citizenry with necessities such as good roads, regular electricity and security, and in which fraud and injustice were rampant, people increasingly turned to religion and miracles for salvation from the excesses of daily life and the disappointment with the government. As a result, the country became intensely religious. In the 1953 census, 68% of the population identified as either Christian or Muslim. By 2012, that number increased to 98%. New Christian Pentecostal churches emerged around the South and provided an outlet for the disillusioned by the moral decay in society, and who sought an immediate remedy for everyday economic hardships. The emergence of these new churches has been one of the most remarkable social changes in Nigeria's recent history. Nigerian Pentecostal churches are ingenious at integrating secular concerns and interests within a religious system. Pentecostalism's message that intense fasting, prayer, and worship can bring immediate wealth, miracles, healing, and other blessings impress many Nigerians in an era of economic hardship. Christians join Pentecostal churches not only to earn an entrance to heaven, but to also solve immediate daily problems related to health, relationships, and wealth. The colorful, eye-catching effervescence of Pentecostal churches' services, which at times resemble music concerts more than religious services, with music, singing, dancing, and constant applause, made established Catholic and Protestant churches appear stolid and dull. Christians felt left established churches to flock to these new Pentecostal churches in great numbers. These churches took advantage of a depressed economic environment by buying the warehouses of companies that went out of business and converted them into vast mega churches. Their voracious demand for new land on which to build new churches inflated property prices in Abuja. The new churches raised vast amounts of money by constantly reminding their congregations about the biblical requirement of tithing. Pastors became celebrities and alternative authority figures with their own television channels, massive budgets of several millions, supplemented by the giving of alms and tithes by their congregation, luxury bulletproof cars, and even private jets. The corporate sounding brand names of Nigerian Pentecostal churches such as Winners Chapel, House on the Rock, Household of God, and Christ Assembly, and the celebrity profile of their pastors such as Temitope Joshua, David Oyedepo, Chris Oyakhilome, and Tunde Bakari, gave Pentecostal Christianity a high social visibility. The ostentatious affluence, charisma, designer suits, and glamour of Pentecostal pastors made them economic role models for their congregations. In a country where people became rich legitimately or by corrupt means, seemingly overnight, gaining wealth appeared to be the product of miraculous intervention. This guy goes on and on to break it down, right? So that was what was happening in the South. Now he now breaks down. I haven't found the part, but I've seen a paragraph or what he tried to explain happened in the North. He said religious development in the North was also influenced by the events in the global Muslim community, the moral decay in Nigeria's society, and the 1979 Iranian Revolution inspired Muslim youth in Nigeria to believe that Islam could be similarly deployed in Nigeria to bring about radical and political social change.
Yeah.
Do you see what's happening in the South and North?
Yeah.
The problem is that
With the government failing, these guys came in and did
They
what?
came in.
They
And
were ready
entered.
to absorb and take
there's
on
no
Nigerians.
vacuum in power. Something has to fill that void. And if you are a hungry man and your pastor tells you, just give your 10% and the Lord will add to your treasure and everything, you will do that now. You definitely do that. In the North too, they'll do that. They will give their own version of that. And that's what has happened in this country right now. It's a shame not a lot of Nigerians will read this. But they'll go
So
on very dark
my own
man's
case is when they
Instagram.
now say, let's leave VDM alone. It's fighting they do now. When people say, oh, they funded blah, 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 I'm like, let's take several steps back. How did we
And
get
own
here?
your own shit. And own your own shit.
Do you
at the end of
understand?
the day.
I want the smoke to be given to the people who led this country in the last 30 to 40 years. I
Years.
need that smoke.
Because
I
that is
need
why
some
we're
of
here.
these
I need
people.
it.
I need
I need
past
it.
leaders of Nigeria not to be able to rear their heads in public because they will get stoned.
Instead, I've been celebrated in every corner, having names named after them, having
Do you
roads named
understand?
after them,
Named after
having
them.
streets,
Having
having
universities named
national
after them.
like monuments named after. Like we celebrate Nigerian politicians too much for
Too
this
much.
for a
delivering
country in
nothing.
this state.
Hey,
Do
my
you
God.
understand?
You're not going to blame America that is handling their own issues there. There's something I want to point out too. You keep claiming that, oh, Bill Gates has ulterior motives. Oh, Bill Gates is one of the people that ended polio in your country. No politician ended. None of your Nigerian billionaires that you listen to, that you worship, has stopped has influenced health industry in this country. None of them.
In
took a Bill Gates.
Yeah.
in my always working for government agencies experience, I was part of the polio vaccination project in 2009. 2010, there was a long strike in 2009, so I worked with the polio, like going around, delivering, helping to talk to communities to bring out their children for vaccination and stuff like that. Down to the materials that we're using, you could see the World Health Organization in partnership with Bill Gates Foundation. Like you could see it in the materials. Like this is something that reached the deepest, the most, like the last mile in Nigeria. We're talking about local government, villages. We are going to big villages,
like in the nooks and crannies.
That's how far it got. Do you get? We also had, like, as we were doing the polio vaccination, we're also distributing mosquito nets. Like everything was like World Health and Bill Gates Foundation. I saw it myself. I saw it in the materials. I'm like, damn. Then you come out to say somebody has ulterior motive.
Do you know how bad it is that I'm not taking shots at anybody who's playing football, right? What David Beckham and UNICEF have done to reduce malaria worldwide, we've not seen any of our sportsmen say, oh, UNICEF, I'm very popular in this country, in Nigeria. Malaria is an issue. Let us do something. But no, we know where we see them. I don't want to talk past that one. We have a character problem in this country.
Club 10.
I remember Club 10 back then.
Didn't last how many years?
We have a character problem.
Can I read something? This Boko Haram because I think history is very important, and I'm so glad I've been reading these books because even I have been ignorant to some facts. When you hear
Yeah.
Boko Haram, you think they just started yesterday. He breaks down in this paragraph. He says, in the early 1980s, northern Nigeria was traumatized by the violent uprising of an Islamic sect led by a Cameroon preacher, Muhammad Marwa. The 53-year-old Marwa was a slightly built man from Marwa in Cameroon who migrated to Nigeria in 1945. His aggressive preaching and confrontations with Nigerian authorities led to his imprisonment in 1962 and deportation to Cameroon in 1966. He returned to Nigeria in the 1970s in violation of the deportation order and was arrested, then spent time in and out of prison several times throughout the 1970s. Marwa considered himself a prophet and espoused ideas that were part religion, part sorcery. He declared that those who wore wristwatches, rode bicycles, drove cars, read books other than the Quran, or sent their children for Western education were infidels.
That's the seed. That's the seed right there.
Do
Origin
you
story.
understand? You think this thing came from
Nothing
nowhere?
happens. There's always a backstory.
So Max
Great
Solon
things
just
happen.
details from that 1980s all the way to Boko Haram. There's a link, like there's a whole group. What even happened is that somebody even came after this guy who was even
They'll
crazier than
evolve-
this guy. That this guy was even
evolve and
like, yo,
mutate.
this guy is back crazy. Who the hell is this new guy? And then the thing kept transforming and transforming and
mutating
transforming
where
and
we are now.
mutating to where we are now.
And
So
it's,
all of this was happening. There was no. Do you want to tell me there was no intelligence reports?
Bro, I can bet you that there are files on Boko Haram before they became a problem, but nobody did anything. Nobody did anything.
Do you understand? So, like, as far back as the 80s, this guy had 2,000 devoted followers. They went to a certain place in where was it? Oh, I think which was even crazy. They went to a certain place in Kano. It was like an enclave. It is 2,000 followers. You know what this guy did? They barricaded the whole place and they were living as a community.
That's a
Different
cult,
from
man.
what. Yeah,
Not like a Jim Jones cult. That
they
happened in
created a
America.
cult.
Yeah.
This is in the 80s. So
And you know what America does to cult leaders? They kill them because they know the problem you're going
you
to
cut the
bring.
head off now.
They know the problem you're going to bring to them.
So please, guys, go and read that. Don't see one video again. And that's why I appreciate you guys. We sit in the middle and we look at both sides. You don't need to be
yes.
in the extreme of anything.
You have to look at it
Two-
accurately.
Two things can also be true. That's
It
also
can't
another
be.
thing. It's not black and white, guys.
Extremism is just being slaved on idea. Like he's not rational thinking, to be very honest.
Do you
At one
understand?
point, it's not,
Oh,
yeah.
somebody said this impacted, then okay, then it means that no.
Because it confirms your
things-
bias. Then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's true.
There's a lot of confirmation bias going on. And this is me that I've always argued even with you guys. And last week I was still arguing with you guys that I like what David does instead. But like that video,
Of
you
course.
can't put out that video and say, I'm
Yeah.
going to take a sit back and say, it's not as simple as what you're trying to make
It's
it
not.
look.
It's not 2 + 2 like this. It's
So
not.
if I come out and put a video now and say, oh, you're a Russia, you're
Russia
putting out
move.
you're putting out propaganda for Russia. Then people will watch that video and then call you a Russia propagandist. So please, the whole thing, take a step back. What I want you guys to avoid, go and read about your own country and really understand where the whole problem came from before
Yes.
any foreign interference came in to do
Before you
whatever
believe
they
it
came
in
to
any
do.
black ops.
What's our latest unemployment numbers?
On what?
Unemployment number, the
First of all,
stats.
let me
Please
even
Omo, me,
check.
I've lost it because
let me even check the NBS.
Because
Their
the
website
win-
is
the-
back.
because the
the
way
website crashed again. How you know it crashed? It came up and it crashed again.
because the way Nigerians those people on social media is like are this how are this large amount of people jobless at the same time and they're
If you
doing
want
this thing
to
at the
know-
same
if you
time?
want
It's
to
just
know-
insane.
You want to know how people are
Bro.
jobless? You remember when Pulse was still at on the island? I will
Mhm.
pass Quillox Monday morning. It is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sun
yeah.
never come
Normal.
up dark.
Yeah.
You
people
see
are
grown
doing
ass men and women outside the club.
Bro,
The
because I
NBS
just went to
the NBS site is back,
Obama's Twitter handle, like the Valentine post. Bro, Nigerians are just there being nuisance. Like, bro,
Yeah.
bro, they've taken over that tweet. Oh.
Instead of taking over the
Jesus
tweet.
Christ.
No,
And you know
no,
the-
be Obama,
Like,
no
it's
be Obama
insane.
get the tweet again.
No be Obama get them again. Oh.
I know
Like, how are people this jobless, man?
they won't give this smoke to any of the elected leaders.
Of course not.
Their senator, they don't even know their senators'
Of course,
Twitter accounts.
Senator, okay, state out of assembly. The
Assembly,
person
they don't even know
representing
his
their
Twitter accounts.
constituency, they
In local
don't
government,
know.
you don't know.
They don't know. Of course, it's
I
not.
forget.
You see, this thing by mouth we they do for here now. Now mouth now. You want us to actually hold people accountable for real? Come on, man.
Nigerians don't hold people accountable. That's why you can do shit here. And Nigeria is a politician's dream.
Come on,
Come here,
man.
collect money, don't do anything.
The way this thing should be reported, there are a lot of things going on. Even going back to this Binance story with Tigran, local media, they can't even report the
Yeah.
story.
They
There's
can't even
something.
report the story.
Shout out to
Local media that's interviewing D1. They're giving D1
bro.
prime time coverage.
I want to get into that in a bit, but let me start with like Fola Folayan. Shout out to Fola Folayan. She tweeted something. She said the fear of detention, loss of political patronage, NBC fines, and license revocation will not let local media in Nigeria cover this story or discuss it. So the
Yeah.
majority of Nigerians not on digital platforms will have no idea of the shit show their so-called leaders are running. They have no idea because local media is not going to cover this Binance story. They will not even touch it with a 10-foot pole. They won't. Because everybody's like, hey, man, I want to be in good hands. But I'm just learning of who the D1 guy is. I've seen his pictures here and there. I mean, like maybe 1 or 2 videos. But like, it's interesting. Let's just get into some funny stuff. Like
He's the latest Avenger.
we
Come
can
out
move
from
into
that
some
place.
funny stuff, right? So he goes on the Honest Bunch podcast, this guy, right? And he alleges that somebody is bisexual, right?
Yeah.
And the person that he alleges is bisexual doesn't even address him, just starts attacking the host, Nedu, right?
The wildest.
And attacks him to the point where that one has now written, Nedu has now said he's off the show.
Yeah, he stepped down.
Yeah, but then the D1 guy then goes on a whole media tour trying to prove that Nedu has nothing to do with it.
Radio
and that
stations, TV stations.
And that indeed, truly indeed, the person he's talking about is a bisexual. So he goes and then shares the video with whoever is interviewing him. And that one sees the video and say, no, be that. And I say, Naim. I say, I tell you now. How did this become something prominent in Nigerian media?
I don't get. I was so sad when I saw those clips. Bro, you're on radio.
So
Then I
sad.
now saw you on TV. And these people were asking you questions as if you were a minister or you were a
Although,
politician.
to be
you can say
fair,
it was the entertainment section.
Bro,
to,
please.
to be fair, I'm not like anytime the places I saw him, I wasn't shocked. Where I will lose it if I see him on Ebuka's show. That's where I will just lose it.
But
But
Like,
somebody
Pella
I'm
was
someone
on
that
it. But
gave it.
Pella was on Ebuka show. What are
somebody
you
of that
talking about?
somebody of that equals
The Pella guy, the Pella
on
guy
Ebuka
who
show.
is dating the girl that acts like a robot is on
Bro,
the
do you guys know that I don't know this Pella person? Like I see the face, I don't
it
know.
was
I don't have
when-
an I know
He's,
he's a TikTok person, but I don't have any
He's
idea.
he's
of
Nigeria's
who he is.
version of Kai Senat.
Jesus
oh my God.
Christ.
Oh my God.
Davido has been on his live. Like artists now want to pull up to his live. It's part of their rollout plan now.
Okay, so he deserves to be on national. See, I don't want to sound like an old head or a hater, and I've always been an advocate of like new media merging with old media. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say, somebody who prides himself so much in speaking terrible English should not be on TV
As any
without-
sort of
with,
Or one of our
influencer,
Without-
biggest
with-
interview
with-
platforms.
yeah, without having a purpose. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'd like to see him on TV if he raised 20 million naira for children to, go to school or something. They're like, oh, this is what talking about. So we can overlook him not being able to speak English properly because he did something of genuine. He prides himself in not speaking well. Like, apparently he can actually even speak proper English.
You can actually.
So, but
Can.
he speaks the way he speaks because it's entertaining
Yes.
by speaking poor English.
Yes.
I'm trying to, and then he was unable, and I looked at Ebuka interviewing him, and Ebuka had like a stern face, as if he was trying to get something valuable from the kid. And I'm just like, because see, I've been on that show. I understand and I've talked to the producer of the show. Like,
You understand the
those
weight
are
it
the ones-
carries.
Yeah, do you understand? Thank you. And the research I had to do before I get on the show because I had to throw numbers. If you guys, I think I've been there twice or thrice.
Wasn't something there recently? I think something too was there recently.
yeah, something was there.
Yeah.
Oh, do you understand? And then you have all that. See, guys, again, I'm not saying there's quality. The only thing we should regard as quality is when you're throwing numbers or talking about something intellectual.
Or hard news. No, but still, come on.
Relax it a bit, but like, what is good? So this is where we are, right? Everything is now fully democratized. That literally anybody. See, if you have Pella on, what's the name of the show again? The Why Niger show. What's it called again? The one that Ebuka does. I forgot the name of the show. What's the name of the show now?
Robbie
Yeah,
Mine.
Robbie Mines. Thank you.
Yeah, Robbie
Guys,
Mines,
this is Robbie Mines, right? We know the caliber of people who've been on Robbie Mines. All right, so if you're trying to tell me now that if you're gonna have Pella and Robbie Mines, it means you can have. Let's just list out everybody
Side
right?
about.
who I'm just finding out of because of this whole thing, right? You can have, what's the name of the one that they contributed and bought a car for her?
There are plenty.
There are plenty. No, but this one didn't go to Big Brother. It was just a random Instagram influencer.
I don't know that. I don't know who that is.
She's popular now.
Naz Minaj.
Who's that?
Oh, don't worry. It's one of the
Okay,
League of
no.
Undesirables.
There's another one. She's popular. She was she's not like she's caramel something, but not caramel something.
Caramel plug.
No, not
It can't be
caramel
Caramel
plug.
Plug.
It's another one. She's just God damn it, I've forgotten her name. But they're like that, right? You can have, so what we're saying now is that democratization of media can go to anybody now. That's where we are
Yeah.
now.
Oh yes. As long as you have something happening, you are in.
Okay. Then it's
It's fair
okay.
game now.
Yeah, it's
fair
okay. I can't complain. Okay, Pella, fine. Wait. How did we get Pella? How did we get to all
We're
this?
talking
nonsense?
about like interviews, media, blah blah blah.
Yeah, we're
Anyways.
talking about media. Yeah,
Let's move on. Then the whole Two-Face thing. Do you guys want to go in there? I'm tired.
The only thing I have to
Personally,
say
I'm
is
tired.
that I have 2 points to make there. One
Yeah.
is I'm disappointed. I'm finally disappointed in him. Not is for the person, the choices or whatever it is, but just for like the
handling.
handling is not classy. It's not like
It's not classic.
you're not representing yourself with Two-Face. Two, I also see Two-Face as somebody who's as far as as much as people try to paint this picture of like a terrible human being who misuses women a lot. I see Two-Face as somebody who has easily been manipulated by a lot of women. That's how I see it. I feel he has
Very
fallen
true.
victims to some sort of like a lot of manipulation, and people don't see it from that angle. I see it. That's what I feel. So two things can be like I'm on both sides. I don't like the way he's handling it. I also feel that he's just a victim. He's a very agreeable person. Like his personality is very agreeable. He has agreeable.
So why
personality.
didn't he agree to give Blackface royalties of African Queen?
That was
Because-
more than him.
no,
That was more
I
than
know
him.
the-
At
bro,
least
we know the
at
answer.
least
Osagie, you know the answer. You know
at
the answer
least
to
he
that
even
one.
agreed to be. To be very honest, Two-Face credited him as a writer. I think the other thing came from.
But didn't give him money.
Osagie,
that came from the
answer
record
to that
label and
question.
They
I
gave
know the
him
answer
money.
to this question.
Do you
Yes,
want to
man.
say they gave Blackface money in the clips I saw from Nidu's podcast?
Oh, really?
Yes. But I don't think it was enough for Blackface or something. I don't know the true story. But I feel that that's just my thought on Two-Face. Shout out to him, Sha.
All right. I don't have any thoughts, really.
Oh.
Guys, just try to be sexually disciplined. I think
He
that's
said
Yeah,
it. He said it on
that's
raindrops
just it,
himself.
bro.
He said
He said it on raindrops.
Listen to
Exactly.
raindrops. So,
Yes,
yeah,
He said it. He said it 15 years ago. Okay. No problem.
yeah. But look at things happen.
All right. I am innocent. Let's keep it moving. All right. We have a lot of fan mail to go into. So may we start?
Let us go.
Let us start. You guys want to have a music break? No music break.
Let's do it.
You want to have a music break?
Let
Yes,
us do
please.
one music break. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, for real? What do you want to listen to?
Anything with the hot now.
Tony's TV off.
Hey, okay, let's quickly talk about.
That's my favorite jam at the moment.
Let's quickly talk about. We can quickly talk about the.
The Super Bowl. That's my
funny.
monster. That's my favorite part of that.
It's funny as we talk about Super Bowl, nobody talks about the winner or the people who played the final.
Waiting God Sammy.
Oh,
Now
guys, I'm
Steve
into
the watch.
American
Now
football.
Steve. Now Steve.
I'm into American football right now.
Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Ain't no other king in this rap thing, they siblings. Nothing but my children. One shot, they disappearing. I'm in a city with a flag be getting thrown like it was pass interference. Padlock around the building. Crash pulling up an unmarked truck just to play freeze tag. With a bone to pick like it was sea bass. So when I made it out, I made about 50K from a show. Trying to show niggas the ropes before they hung from a rope. I'm prophetic. They only talk about it, how I get it. Only good for saving face, seen the cosmetics. How many heads I gotta take to level my aesthetics? Hurry up and get your muscle up. We up the plyometric. Nigga ran up out of luck soon as up the highest metric. The city just made it sweet, you could diabetic. They mouth get full of deceit. Let these cowards tell it. Walk in New Orleans with the etiquette of LA yelling. Monster! Oh man. Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off, turn his TV off.
Shit getting crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. 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 Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious.
Kehinde Lawal, K Dots. Let's go.
Mustard, bringing up Mustard on Super Bowl was really good.
Yeah, I love that look though. That was a good look,
because
yeah.
to be honest, what that guy has done, what that guy did with that beat,
With the not like us, but yeah.
Man,
I like
it's
I like
crazy.
where Mustard is right now because Mustard could
I
have
love
just people that have forgotten him because of that era he had where he was using almost the same sound.
Almost the same beats, yeah.
But in the last 3-4 years, stuff he did with Rod Rich and now K Dot shows that he's versatile. And I like he gave him that look because I'm sure some white Americans will be like, "Who's that guy?" With Kendrick. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was cool.
It was good. It was good. Now that you said it, and I look at it, I did that way. It was a good look for him. He's going to get
Yeah.
more features. He's going to
Definitely.
he just dropped an album too. Mustard.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Fate of a Mustard Seed, something like that. I haven't listened to it as well, but the numbers will
I have
go
to
up
check
there.
it. Yeah, people want to go and stream his music.
Brands are going to work with him some more. I think even there
Mhm.
was a food brand that worked with him and used the whole mustard thing. So that's really
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
so-
an ad recently. Yeah.
So it's good for him.
Talking
It's
about
good for
ads, I saw Joe Budden's Super Bowl ads.
Yeah, price picks.
Bro, life is interesting. Life is interesting. You can, as long as you are persistent and you're consistent,
Yeah,
you
giving
can make it
value.
anytime. You're giving value. You can make it anytime. Like there's no time stamp for success. Like I see young people now just losing their minds over not achieving something in their 20s. I'm like,
It's crazy.
bro, life just
Gary V-
starts.
Gary V
What
has
is wrong
been
with
saying-
you?
That's what Gary V is telling them. That
Thank
even if you
you,
have
like-
50 self, you still have
Bro.
why?
Bro, there's so much life to live.
Till the casket
You know?
drops.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
man.
you, man. Yeah.
Till the casket drops.
I'm happy for him. Happy for Bodin.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. The 10 years of podcasting. It's a lot.
It should be more than 10
Yeah.
years, bro. Come on
No,
now.
it's 10 years. 2015.
Is it 10
It's
years?
800 episodes now. They
Of
just
the Joe
recorded
Budden podcast.
Yeah,
You know, that because
800
you know to senior us now. What's in the talk?
Yeah, you know, too serious.
Yeah, I think we started like 2 years
16.
after. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay,
But
Watch,
two-
watch
18
our
months.
adverts. Watch our
Yeah.
advert at AFCON final this year. We'll be there. I want Super Bowl. That's African Super Bowl.
It's just
My brother,
you know,
I wouldn't give a fuck about any halftime performance in football. Just imagine Manchester United is playing Barcelona. Now halftime you won't watch. When you don't go bath. You don't go pour water for head.
Messi
Because
don't score
tension
two
won't
goals.
kill. Tension won't kill you.
I
Imagine,
forgot there was a pop star, female pop star, who performed at the beginning of the Champions League final, and she said that while she was performing, all the fans were doing was just singing the chants of their own club, that they're never paying attention.
yeah,
That's the story I want to. That's the story I want to read. Like I want to get.
I
Like I
think it
want
was
to get
this
the
girl.
view.
What's her name?
If your team, I want to get the view of fans of the teams in the Super Bowl. How do they feel about halftime performances? I don't think they will care. Do you
No,
understand? Because
the
if
American team, they don't
for
care.
example, for the last one, if I'm a Chiefs fan, I wouldn't give it two fuck about Kendrick's performing at super time because
Yeah.
my team is down by like 34 points. Like, what's the concern me concern Kendrick? You didn't understand what I'm saying? Like, that's a perspective I want to get. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you, like you said, if you apply to football, I don't want to see anything. 15 minutes is not even enough.
It's
Like,
not even
What do you
enough.
perform?
Exactly.
you know, I'm still thinking of which formation the coach is going to use, you know, and all of
For the
that.
chances that we missed.
But I guess, you know, that's where America does well with
America's
entertainment.
it's
Entertainment,
yeah,
they
it's
get
true.
it.
It's true.
I love the performance. I loved everything around it.
I like Samuel
I knew he
Jackson.
couldn't. I knew he couldn't
second
perform those
half-
songs because he had performed those songs earlier with Dr. Dre.
Earlier on, Dr. Dre, yeah.
Oh,
The
yes,
second
yes,
half of
that's
the
true.
I like the second half of the performance, yeah. Like
Yeah.
from like after like
From
not like
Pickable.
from
From
Pickable,
Pickable.
thank you. From Pickable
Yeah.
when he went to dance with his from Pickable, I liked it. You know, yeah. The beginning was slow, but from Pickable,
Shout
I
out to
like it.
Jay for injecting a lot of black culture in this so Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
DEI,
Halftime
man.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
DEI, man.
I wonder who's
Yeah.
going to use for next year. Who do you think would
Yeah,
do the
they
Super
have
Bowl
to
next
go.
year?
They have to go super white for the next 2
I
years.
think-
beg.
Super
Like,
white.
they have
Yeah, I
to.
think
They have
so.
to balance this thing. I beg. I used to go beg them
Because
even me,
Trump
I can't-
previously, yes.
They might
You
do
know,
Beyonce
this is
though. They might do
this
Beyonce.
is
has done.
Trump.
Beyonce has
Yeah.
done.
Beyonce has done 3 times.
Yeah.
Beyonce
Who
has
do you
gone to
think?
Super Bowl 3 times.
Who do you
Mariah
think
Carey.
would-
No, just give it to Taylor Swift, bro. Let's just give it to Taylor Swift. After Taylor Swift, give it to like what is this country? What's
See,
this guys? This country?
Taylor Swift and Post Malone. Give those two.
No, just Post Malone later. Post Malone.
Mm.
You have to pair Post Malone with someone, like maybe
That's what I'm
Eminem
saying.
or something.
Taylor. No, I said
Yeah.
Taylor and
No. Taylor Swift
Post.
is going on alone. Is going
Okay,
alone. Taylor
it's
Swift.
big-
No,
is
they will.
going
They will
alone.
bring 1 or 2 people on board with her though.
no, that's what I'm
With
saying.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
No,
she can't do
now.
it. No,
You know
I know it's
Post-
big. I know it's Big Taylor, but
Well,
they did a record
Post,
together now.
You know,
right?
Post is doing country music now. He's on his country music bag.
He's a country music band.
No,
now.
but most of the Super Bowl, especially in the last few years, right? Even when you have like a headliner, somebody still.
Oh, someone will come. Like
Yeah.
Caesar,
Yeah.
Caesar came for Kendrick's
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And 50 Cent was more
Yeah.
of like, Kendrick too was like that during the whole Dr. Dre.
Yeah, Dr. Dre's own.
The Doctor's
Yeah.
Own was even different because he's a producer, right? So
He's
he
a
had to
producer,
get.
so he
so he
has
has to
so
get
many
everybody.
people.
But
Yeah.
even who came for Usher's Own? Ludacris came. You know, like you
Ludacris
just bring
came.
a one
Ha
supporting.
came.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys came.
Aha.
He's the man too.
Yeah.
And okay, and Anasi Park was at Dre Zone. That
And as the park was
Anasi
at
Park.
Yeah.
Dre.
There's one
Yeah.
knocking the.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you bring Taylor, you just look at who she's collaborated with and who did the
Taylor and
remix
Ice
of.
Spice.
Oh my
Eh?
god.
God forbid.
I'm just joking.
Who did
Ice
the
Spice
remix
has
of Bad
fallen.
Blood with Taylor Swift?
No, Kendrick.
It's Get Out now.
Yeah, Skate Out.
Skate out.
That's the only Taylor Swift song I know by the way.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not a Swiftie. I'm sorry.
Okay, man, let's get into fan mails. Lots and lots of fan mails. Thank you so much for writing, guys. Remember, it's fanmail@loosetalkgiants.com. So please write to us. Thank you. You can write us anything, what you feel, what you've heard. You agree, you disagree. There's always a space for us to respond to any of your questions. So the Ask the Giant segment is also there. Let us know. Got a lot of fan mails because we've not read fan mails for like 2 weeks. So let's just go through it. This is from Tosin. Hey guys, your favorite critic here. The podcast is called Loose Talk, not Osagie and Friends. So please, Osagie, let your co-host contribute more. You dominate the
Wow.
conversations way too much. I
Jesus
guess about
Christ.
70% of the airtime is just you. At this point, your co-hosts feel like sidekicks. Let the conversation flow. I want to hear everyone's thoughts. And
Jesus
ALT2,
Christ.
please be more vocal. I listen to you or to your other podcast, 234 Essential, and I know you have opinions. This is coming from an OG listener since 2016.
Wahala deal. Wahala
TBC
deal.
Wahala Day.
So who's gonna continue reading the fan mail now?
They didn't say it's not each family, they said family.
I don't know. I don't get this. I don't get it. I give my all to the pod. And everything you hear from me is all I have to give. So nobody is stopping me from. Why am I even responding to this?
No, you should. It's an OG listener. It's an OG listener. It's the way it feels now. So I'm gonna see. I'm still talking. I'm gonna keep quiet now.
Okay, we don't hear. Thank you. We heard. Osagie, take your time. That's my daughter. That's my daughter's favorite. Like, once my daughter comes to complain to me about somebody, I have to go and tell that person, take your time. That's the only way she stops
The
crying.
worst.
Like if she just come, but daddy Denzel. I said, let's go, Denzel. Take your time.
My
That's
own
it.
is
She's good.
my own is I'll call police for you. Don't worry, I'm calling police for them. Okay, this is also from Tosin, sent a previous email. Tosin says, "Hey guys, why so secretive about relocating? That alone could be a solid podcast topic. Plenty of people who've moved would relate and probably flood you with fan mail. Back when you were living in a solo, you didn't keep it low key. So why now?" And do you want to address that,
This
Steve?
guy, they write,
Because
they write.
he
It's
meant-
obviously
they
not.
like-
It's obviously not secret. Not a secret because you know about it. Like
No, it
Yeah,
means
but
that you
you're not
guys did
talking
not
about
announce it.
the process. Did you
No
write
big reveal.
IELTS? Do you understand? Did you go and do your TB test?
everybody
know.
writes alright. Maybe that should be a conversation for another day. Maybe I'm not ready for it yet. You get it's a huge change. I'm still getting used to a lot of things. So
Also,
just give me time, guys.
It's the
Give me
Nigerian
time,
in them.
guys.
You know, when you just announce that you're abroad now, you know what? You don't activate switches in certain areas. So it's soft launching.
to ping your IP. Anyways,
Give me time, guys. Give me time. Yeah, give me time, guys.
okay. From my opinion, to be very honest, we're doing a podcast. I owe nobody. Do you understand any information about my private life? Like, so it is what I will say. I owe nobody nothing.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
understand?
yeah. That's true.
So now waiting, I go talk. So I'm sorry, my private life is private for a reason because the internet is a very strange place.
It's a very strange place to be honest. So we have to be very careful.
place.
And if you see our personality, if you see even the way we handle social media, if you see the way like we are very, very, very private about what we care about. That's just
Yeah.
how we roll. That's what we believe in. That's how we operate. It's not coincidence. It's just the way we are. We just hate, just putting things out there. Especially things that are very, very like the things I love the most in my life are very, very private to me. It's my experience, and I don't share them that much. So yeah.
So guys, that's about it. Tosin also says, and about Okpeyemi, the whole who gave people the right to criticize him thing. Well, the same right that led Okpeyemi wake up one day and decide to be a full critic. No, it's also content. It's all constant content. Okpeyemi is making money as a full critic, and someone else is making content dissing him for it. Everybody's eating, pun intended. Honestly, if anyone's thinking of getting into content creation, my advice, be a creator who critiques other creators. There's definitely a market for it. Isn't that what Kabilame, the TikTok guy, does in a humorous way?
Yeah.
Also, quick notes. Y'all need to work on not interrupting each other so much. One person starts talking, then someone jumps in and boom, they forget what they were saying. It happens all the time. We tune in to hear all three of you, not just one person dominating the conversation. Peace and love.
Not just Osagie dominating the conversation.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah, so
shit.
no
Yeah.
problem. We've taken that feedback. And my point about the Okpeyemi own is that some people are just doing it out of hate. They're not even making money out of it. So if you're creating content and that's your strategy, I understand it because everybody's out there hustling. It's
Which
the
is
internet.
Okpe's
Nobody-
strategy.
Which is not exactly. It's just taking out of time to hit on somebody and you're not making money off it. What's the need?
A chef did a whole video and says, "This is why we don't need to listen to Okpeyemi. We don't need to respect." And she went into detail. You left your work as a chef to create
Maybe that's also content.
Well,
that could be content,
that on day too.
inside content,
Everybody,
content day.
One knows better, than to be affected by any other all of those shenanigans.
Yeah, of course. All right, this is from Annie. Annie says, "Are female relationships as perfect as we pretend? I think there's an idealized version of female friendships that gets pushed online a lot. I'm sure the writer from a few episodes ago who wrote about her friendships genuinely has the beautiful female friendships she described. But I also think a lot gets brushed under the carpet when it comes to female friendships. The intensity she spoke of to me is a huge umbrella covering a lot of dynamics nobody seems to want to discuss openly, which is passive aggression, codependency, a lack of accountability, and competition. There's also a silent punishment or exclusion from non-conformity even among women. Non-conformity can appear in different ways depending on the environment, like being sexually expressive, opinionated, one of those boys, stylish, unstylish, introverted, gender fluid, etc. And I suspect this is partly why bloody civilian faces harsher backlash than her mates on Twitter. I think many women miss out on spontaneous conversations and relationships that unfold naturally when the unspoken rules of social engagement are left behind. Men can play football with 20 strangers, for instance, and have a great time, but it's not that straightforward with women, and I'm tired of being gaslit that this isn't the case. I think we, women, hesitate to talk about these things because it risks feeding into patriarchal narratives about our nature, and we risk being labeled not a girl's girl. There's a reason Charlie XCX made a song called Girl So Confusing. But everybody likes to pretend it's always sunny on this side. Despite all of this, I still believe that few things are better than a truly healthy, secure friendship between two or more women. There's nothing like it. I also agree with the point Osagie made last week about Arasta's positioning and song lyrics. The new song, All the Love, literally makes his point for him, in my opinion. Shout out to you, Annie, for writing in. And thank you for writing this because these were part of my thoughts when I was thinking about female friendships and how what the dynamics are,
Yeah.
between two or more women who consider themselves friends. Like she mentioned, right? You can meet 20 guys. I don't know if you guys saw a skit recently of someone who was trying to describe how young men have relationships with other young men and you don't know what their name is. You don't know anything about them,
Yeah.
but now your guy.
Mhm.
You
That
know,
your guy.
yeah,
You don't even know his surname.
you know someone for 1 2 years. Oh, na my guy now. I started on Atunde be that Atunde no to Desco, and that's all you know about him. And then when you really want to know who the person is, you don't know their name, and then you ask, oh, "What's your full name? What's this and that?" I used to play football with Steve and a couple of friends, right? And some of them I didn't even know who they were, like but they was oh now my guy be that, oh now Steve guy, so now my guy, and
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I even gave money to someone who was still like
Yeah.
I knew through Steve. I think he had
Yeah.
his wife had an accident or something, and he needed money, right?
Yeah.
And I just like, oh man, let me just give this guy because he needs the money. I feel he needs the
Yeah.
money, and yeah, I felt like oh, in this group they are like close mind sorry like-minded people, and people really care about
Mm-hmm.
each other. And I see how people we play football, we really care about each other. But do I know his surname today? I can't remember. I can't even remember. I just remember his first name.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that's how men, as Nigerian men, in my opinion, kind of live their lives. But like women, I really want to understand. So more women, please, if you listen to this podcast, please write to us. I really understand. I want to understand how the dynamics are. But any shout out to you for breaking this
I
down.
don't.
Gives me more insight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Steve, you want to say something?
Um. I just. I just feel that we know how to. How do I put it? We know how to be very, very surface. Like as men, we know when to be surface and maybe when to be deep. Who to be so like we can manage surface relationships
Mm-hmm.
and make it look as if it's something deep. It's not deep. It's just surface. I don't see women doing that a lot. Women like require like deep connections, before they can trust you and stuff like that and consider you a friend. That's how I just see it. I don't know how true it is. It's just from my own
Yeah.
observation. I don't know if it's correct or right. I just feel that women need like deeper connections with each other or with whoever they are friends with. As men, we don't need it. We can be surface, but I'm my guy. Everybody moves on and stuff like that. That's just what I feel. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
Which that my guy can be a bit dangerous if you ask me.
It is.
It is
A bit
because you never know.
dangerous.
You
Yeah,
never
now
know.
my
You never
guy,
know.
in talk say make I transfer him the money. Now my Sabi and I still
No,
Sabi him, and
exactly.
I give him the 10
Yeah.
million now. He
So
say
what
he
is
go
his
give me
name?
back.
No.
I can't give her the money.
Uh,
What is his surname? And you just start looking like, oh
I'm
shit,
telling you.
I don't know this guy's last name.
He just show.
yeah.
He say make I give him a car. I give him a car now.
True. True.
Oh more Niger. Anyways, this is from Pythagoras. It says the silent force behind great evangelization and influence. I'm pleased to finally write to you after several attempts to share my perspective on topical issues. Glad I'm doing this now. By the way, the strategic placement of three of you spread across three continents adds an enriching blend of perspectives to the podcast, shaped by your daily experiences. I'd like to title this short piece Women, the Silent Force Behind Great Evangelization and Influence. There's a modern business perspective that says if you want to become super rich, build a business that caters to women's insecurities. Trust me, this is a valid phenomenon, and I have real life examples to back it up. Take my gym, for instance. I've noticed something profound. Women are the driving force behind membership growth. How? They bring fellow women and influence men to join. I kid you not. After chatting with some of the guys at the gym, this became glaringly obvious. Gyms have existed in neighborhoods for ages, but many people didn't care much until women became the target customers. Recently, I noticed the purchase of some amusing gym equipment designed specifically for butt building and even some seemingly tailored for, let's just say, bedroom gymnastics. Not exactly what most guys would incorporate into their routines. Men are typically all about biceps, triceps, abs, broad chest, and muscle tone. Interestingly, the number of ladies who joined the gym just because of this equipment was shocking. You'll be amazed. Over 50% of the women at the gym come equipped with tripods ready to capture their workout sessions. They post online, creating content that not only draws in more women but also attracts men who prefer a gym where they aren't just surrounded by muscular figures but also, well, let's just say those with B and B. I'm sure you get the drift. The recent obsession with fitness and the hot and sexy aesthetic, something that concerns women more, has directly and indirectly driven the growth of the health and fitness sector. Some brands are already cashing in on this, leveraging subscription based models that provide a third space where women can build meaningful friendships while also prioritizing their health. Women deserve the credit for this one, trust me. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this. Keep up the great work. Mr. Pythagoras, you solved another theory.
Another theorem in the bag.
To buttress his point, there's one time in 2022. So you know, I'm wifey. Like anytime we discuss like any business thing, the first thing we'll do is open an Instagram page, a social media page for it, and just create content for like a year to see how it is. And that thing grew to about, was it like 9,000 followers? Like just out of
Wow.
nothing. Like for women's sports apparel, like fitness
Wow.
apparel. Yeah, but we didn't eventually, like, we're too busy. We didn't eventually get to do it. But to tie it to his point, this was what we talked about, that anything that women key in is going to explode. Do you get? And we're thinking about, you know, there's this project I wanted to work on at Pulse one time, which is like the running culture in Lagos. So I don't know. It happens everywhere at every. I remember coming to your house one Saturday and I saw people at, you know, when you're coming from 10 Milan, you're coming from the Express, right? And you enter that place that you used to sleep.
Oh
When you're
man,
going home.
why are you describing it like that? That place I used to
That's
see.
a wonderful description.
I don't know how to describe it again. So when you are turning to come to your house,
I
that
know what you're
bend,
talking about. Old
that-
roundabout.
there are always people there exercising.
Yeah. Yes.
There's an area like that in my area too. When you're coming to play football, you see them now.
I literally have to drive at 10
To be
kilometers per hour so I don't hit
exactly.
anybody.
There's somewhere like that in your area, right?
Yeah, everybody comes
Not too
out
far.
and they do some
Thank
fitness
you.
routines.
Is the link bridge in Ikoyi, right? Like stuff like that. So there's something like, but and when you go there, is women, is people who dominate, and women.
It's
they dominate
largely
them.
women that
It's
are
largely
there.
women. So that was something I've always thought about. How do I create content around this, right? And later, and this All Stars thing too is something that is very important. The All Star, that's our football club. It's called All Star. All Star is like in Lagos, like our group of guys just coming together to play football. That's what they call All Stars, right? And you know, we go and play matches. We go and play other All Stars in other areas.
Yeah.
So it's like a culture in Lagos.
Yeah.
These things are not documented yet.
Yeah,
So for
they
that
aren't,
running
yeah.
culture, I've been wanting to document it, and that's how the business idea came about. I was discussing with her, and she was like, "Yeah, that's interesting. Let's see how it goes." So we opened the Instagram page, and it's just decided getting like likes, followership, and stuff like that, which kind of like lets you know that, oh, this is a business that can make sense if you start selling things online and stuff like that. But we didn't eventually go into it. But it's right. It's anything women key into is usually like something that sells, that does well, like business wise and
And then
economic.
they make things blow now.
Not them now. Not them.
Ayo, you're gonna say more than that too. Tosin said you don't like we don't let you speak. You're gonna say yeah.
That's
No more chipping in. You're gonna.
That's
I want a full statement now.
that is my statement. Tosin, that is my statement. Thank you.
You know,
Oh,
the young
no,
man
go on,
makes a
go
lot
on.
of sense.
Yeah.
When he was talking about this and he just talked about like apparel, I even started thinking about athleisure wear, right? Who started
Yeah.
Thank
promoting
you.
athleisure wear? It was women.
Those
It was
women, yeah,
women.
it was
Thank
driven by
you.
women.
All of them even have Sissy Big Brother. She had a line one time,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
like that. You
yeah.
remember? Yeah.
Women were the ones
It's
that
true.
I'm sure that's why all the companies also started creating more athleisure wear because they would go
Athleisure
gymming. From
wears.
gymming, they would go straight to the store
They'll go
to
grocery.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Stuff
So
like
why not
that.
just get
Yeah.
you like those kind of
A
apparels and
multi-purpose.
yeah.
Yeah.
True. It makes sense. Yeah,
Interesting.
man. Yeah,
That's a very
yeah.
good one. Thank you. See, I
It
like
is.
loose
It is.
talk
It
listeners.
is.
They're
Yeah, no, it's dope. It's dope, and it's also like it's just something like I'll tell like young people now, in Nigeria, especially because of how economically, um, how economically difficult it can be for them to manage. But I remember when we're like, with 100, 200K, you could furnish your house and stuff like that. Things are difficult now, where
bro.
salaries are no longer enough. So
I was
I
earning
encourage people a lot. Yeah, go on, please.
I was earning less than 90,000 naira. I was buying my shirts from Marks
Bro.
and Spencer's
Do
online.
you understand? Like we're
Yeah,
like
With 300K now, they're not even born you.
bro,
For where?
my first car, how much was my salary when I bought when I bought my first car? And how much did I buy the car? Now your
Your
salary is
first
like
car.
600K, and 600K is not the average salary in Nigeria.
No,
No, of
that's a
course
good
You're going
not.
to
salary. No.
you can't
Of
even
course not.
save to buy a good car with a
You
600K
can't.
month salary.
No, you
Like
can't.
it's
To buy a car
difficult
is
now.
not saving. It's not by saving anymore. It's like if you
So
just land into a huge amount of
yeah.
cash.
So every young people around me, I always
And
tell
that's
them
why
to
car financing is important, right?
is very important.
Yeah.
Every young people around me, I'm always advising them like, oh, what are you passionate about? What do you like on the side? Open a page about it. You don't know. You might not know. Tomorrow is because it becomes like an e-commerce platform for you to sell stuff and stuff like
And
that.
that
It's
might be the
very
main source of your
important.
income. Yeah.
And that might be the main source of your income. Do you get like I've said it times without number of this podcast. I've seen like I've done it. Like, bro, anybody can do it. It's just get serious, just consistent, and you'll be good. Do you get so yeah.
All right, shout out to Pythagoras. Let's keep it moving. This is from Emeka. I started listening to the podcast last year, and I must say I have been following it religiously ever since. Osags, I am an admirer of your work from afar, and seeing your contributions at NetNG was truly impressive. It left me charmed. Ah man, if you've been following me since NetNG days,
I
first
say
of
know
all,
you now. He know
You
you.
try.
you know me, rich house.
He know you, rich house.
No me rich house. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. However, Giants, I feel your analysis of Peter Obi's tweet might have been a bit harsh or unwarranted. Here's my perspective. Okay, his tweet, and he's talking about the tweet where he wished Tunde Ednot, the popular Instagrammer,
I remember. Okay.
Okay.
a happy birthday. So he says our perspective that we might have been too harsh. He says, would you have held the same opinion if Peter Obi wished Chief Unduka Ogbaegbena a happy birthday, or Linda Ikeji for that matter? First of all, this is where you've gotten it wrong.
Now you've gone overboard. Now you've taken a detour.
You
taken a
can't
detour.
put Tunde Ednot and Chief Unduka Ogbaegbena in the same sentence. You can't do
No,
that.
you cannot.
It's two different things, man. Please go and read up on who Unduka Ogbaegbena is. Go and read up on how he started printing his newspapers. There was no printing press, or he didn't use printing press in Nigeria. He used to fly.
Yeah.
Did I ever share that article with you where he did his whole? I think one of those very rare interviews. he
Origin
did.
stories.
Yeah,
Yeah, I read it now. Yeah.
he always had to finish up everything, fly, print in the US or print in the UK, and then fly back into Nigeria because
Back into the country.
yeah, like Unduka Agmargbena's story is, bro, please. And I'm not, this is no shade to Tunde Ednot because you can't say Tunde Ednot has not worked hard. He's also worked very hard.
They're not trying. They're not.
Do you understand? From being a comedian to
entered
attempting
sand
music
to shoot video. Yeah, that guy don't try. Don't try. I
Do you
appreciate that
understand?
guy.
He's also done a lot of work. He was in the UK. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in respect to who me I regard Peter Obi as a billionaire, presidential aspirant, still in politics, if you want to build a brand around, Obama is not greeting Christ in arts.
What now?
Do you understand? Obama might put out a playlist and say, oh, these are his favorite songs of the year and mention everybody in there, whatever. I feel like even if you want to say something about Tunde or not, there's a way you can say it where you can't center him and then, it's Tunde or not, guys.
Is
Come on. We
like
need to
it
have
should be
some levels here. I'm
it
sorry
should
about
it
this
should
thing.
be it should be an afterthought in his statements. Like
You
he's
know,
not
and people
yeah.
who have played in the media space or something, then you can throw in
Yeah.
some names there or something. But like, you
You
dedicate
can
a whole
have
tweet. I'm not taking you
you can
seriously.
have a monthly series of like a statements or maybe a newsletter where you shout out people who had their birthdays in the month and
Oh
shout
my
out
God, which is what
stuff
Beyonce
like that.
does. Yeah,
Which one Beyonce does and stuff like that is like
but that you
see this
dedicated a
thing.
whole tweet.
There should be levels to this thing. Like
Come
Peter
on,
Obi should be Peter Obi.
Levels,
That's
a
just our.
standard.
There should be levels.
come
Like
on, come on.
you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't do that, people will not take your statements, your statements
Seriously.
like seriously. Do you get?
And this
They'll
is
just
not
look
Peter
at
Obi.
it
This is his minders. These are the people handling
yeah,
his public perception.
that mind us.
And obviously a very young person who in their own opinion sees
Who wants
Tunde
to be
not as,
involved? Yeah.
It says, oh, if you combine the followership, it says, let's consider this. Tunde Ednot's Instagram page has 4 million followers. Guardian Nigeria has 400K. Nigerian Info has 100K. Arise Nigeria has 400K. If you combine the followership of these legacy platforms, that doesn't even equal 3 million. You are getting the whole point wrong, my brother. It's not
That's
a
a
numbers
wrong
thing.
metric. That's a wrong metric.
That's not how to
use.
qualify. We don't quantify here, we qualify. So please, I get your point. It says if you combine blah 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 blah. No, I don't mean to sound dismissive or compare Ogbagbona to Tunde Ednot. Air quotes. Shout out to UIO. But the reality is media is undergoing a transition. I agree media is undergoing a transition. But I don't feel you need to single out, because you single out Tunde Ednot, you are going to single out
A very
Ijoma
dark
Love.
man.
You're
Yeah?
going to
And
single out
Gist-
DDM. You're going to single out
Gist Lover.
Gist Lover.
Cutie
Hello Twetwe.
Goose.
Hello Twetwe.
Hello, Twitch.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, where's the line?
It just goes down and down to a place where there's no quality anymore. And these are not platforms known for quality reporting in news.
That's the thing. If you're a quality person, you got to be a quality person. So, my brother, it says the old guards are no longer the sole custodians of information, and the new guards are stepping up. What's his name? Did Peter Obi did he wish Fisaya Sorombo a happy birthday?
Who is that? First of all, doesn't cause drama on it. It doesn't. It's not.
So
it's
you
not
see the
Mr.
problem
Blog.
here.
Yeah.
You see the problem here now.
Yeah.
A well-respected, award-winning,
Journalist
recognized, respected journalist.
that
you know,
comes out
greet-
with facts.
Greet and happy birthday.
But people that put a big breast on their Instagram, you greet them happy.
So you see where the problem, Emeka. You see where the problem dey. See, a problem don't they? I beg.
You are rewarding numbers and not quality.
Emeka. I beg.
That's bad thing in Nigeria.
I beg. Emeka. You don't hear him. You don't say as he be now. Anyways, this is from Anonymous. He says, let me shock you. Shout out to K Solo. This is my second fan mail, but I'm an ardent follower for the last 2 years. Well, let's get down to business. I listened to you guys talk about the education sector in the last episode, and I was surprised at how you were shocked at things that have actually become the norm for students in this part of the world. You spoke about the power issue with UCH last time. I want to provide some context as I'm a final year student in the premier, but obviously not premier University of Ibadan.
Oh, let's go. Well,
It says this is not the first time.
Premier, but not premier.
Yeah. It says this is not the first time that the UCH will be suffering a serious blackout, but it is the first time it has been this bad. Before I talk about the blackout, I'd like to tell you guys that at the start of the session, the University of Ibadan management actually wanted to implement a power schedule on campus that would see us get just 10 hours of power in a day. Not like it was stable anyways. However, it was met with stiff opposition by the students. Most of us were still battling with more than 100% increments in our school fees. They eventually rescinded it, but now we hardly get 12 hours of power daily. UCH which also has a medical school in a different area, is the one that has been suffering the most. I can't even explain how crazy it is. Trust me, studying medicine is not child's play, but the condition those guys are surviving in are extremely terrible. Before the protest, the medical student wrote letters upon letters to the powers that be, but of course they didn't get a favorable response. If you see videos of the protest, you see students were covering their faces. This is because the university has a culture of victimizing students who partake in protests. As it stands, even a few friends of mine could get suspended for leading earlier protests against fees hikes and the ludicrous power schedule. I can't speak about other schools, but it's terrible being a student here. Things are abnormal in Sena climes are the norm. He said things that are normal are abnormal in Sena climes are the norm here. I mean, I had to use light from the moon to read. In 2025, the school only permits students to use kerosene stoves to cook. And in my final year, I've spent over 250,000 naira on my project. I had to buy reagents with my own money, for God's sake. In the penultimate year, I dreaded going to class because of the heat. We had to use a lecture theater that could not contain everyone. Omo, there were times we had to stay on the staircase. How am I supposed to learn? I did a practical course in my 300 level, but we did not use a laboratory. The lecturer told us to imagine we're in a lab because we did not have the necessary apparatus.
Virtual learning.
Lecturers will even tell you that UI is their second hustle. I'll be done with this school in a few months, and I can't wait to get out of here, man. And the crazy thing is that there are schools even worse than this.
Yep.
Bro, I mean,
This is the first university in Nigeria. In case you guys don't know what is said by Premier University, that is the first university established in the country.
I'm speechless.
10 hours of light a day.
What do I want to say? This is what's going to compete on the global level.
Yes, now. This is the giant of Africa that wants to take over the world, and America is trying to suppress.
How are we even going to get the next set of medical practitioners in the country?
You don't get them because when they graduate, they just travel.
So I stayed in school all through. I started in lecturer quarters all through my stay in uni.
Now they
And
always get
the
light
last-
now.
Yeah, the life schedule was, I think out of 24 hours, I think almost like 15 hours, right? And I understand, and I knew how impactful it was for me and my group of friends, right? Like while after lectures, we can immediately go home, set up, start reading, like this, like improve the quality of our lives, like in terms of how we read and how we manage our time and stuff like that. And just imagine people being in school and not having enough electricity. Like that's why when I don't want to go back to our prime minister who keeps talking about AI and stuff like that. We have so many things to fix. Like we can't jump these steps. We can't skip these things. Do you understand?
You want
Like,
to fly, but you can't crawl.
it's just so I don't know, like it's sad, to be very honest. It's just sad what we are subjecting young Nigerians to. Like I'm looking at this Dodge, Elon Musk's Dodge.
Yeah.
How much is
Yeah.
using 19-year-old engineers? He had like young people all around. Do you get? Because these 19-year-olds are not waking up thinking about how to get fuel or how to get water or how to get electricity. These people have been empowered from the age of 13. They already know how to provide solutions. They already know
They're
what
light
to
years
do.
ahead.
They're light years ahead. That's the level like Nigerian used to be. Like we are at that level intellectually, and we have the capacity, but we don't have the supporting system
Enabling
to function, the
environment.
enabling environment to function at that level. No, Nigerians cannot function at that level. Never, because of what we are dealing with. These things are sad because the children of those who are making the decisions, they're over in Western countries just having the best time of their lives, and why the people they are leading are just suffering. It does not make sense to me.
It's sad, man. If the first university in Nigeria is at this level, think of all those state universities or all those state polytechnics hidden in remote parts of this country.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm just
what are they
remembering my
doing?
own time in school too, how effed up it
Bro,
was.
I was really lag. Bro, you don't know the state of the toilets. Bro, if you know bath for money, Immediately those women wash. If you no bath at that time, it's gone. Forget. It's gone. We saw buildings that were basically cracking. It was, and this is usually like those be like, oh, university of first choice.
Yeah.
Bro, it's terrible.
It's
I'm not
terrible.
remembering that we had to. I think I mentioned in the last episode, we actually had to go and fetch water.
Yes, you
to have
mentioned it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll go
Yeah.
to the nearest well in the school premises,
Mm-hmm.
use the well, fetch water, bring it back to the. And the toilets were stinking and so bad. We didn't have our baths in
No.
the
When I
bedroom.
was in Jaja.
You
when I
have
was
your
in
bath
Jaja,
outside. There's a
when I
place
was in
where you
Jaja,
can quickly have your bath because
Yeah.
the
boys used to have their bath in the courtyard in Jaja.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you have your
yes,
bath in the
yes,
courtyard.
yes. Even
'Cause
even
the bedroom
in
is
hostels,
gone.
The bedroom is
True,
gone.
the
at
bedroom
end
is
of the
gone.
day.
They just have they just have the bath in front.
Then if you
It's
see
true.
the rooms that they are located to you, or
That's
you
true.
bought three. When I say 3 people, I don't mean 3 people, because one guy if you get like 5 guys. So in the
Oh,
room
bro,
you
I
can
was
have.
floating. I was floating.
So the room I said in Jaja, we partitioned the room into 3, right? And in my own side, like 5 of us were sleeping there. The next one again, like 3 or 4 guys. The next one, 3 or 4 guys.
And you
Not
know,
make
you know the
sense.
crazy thing about this thing? Do you know the
What?
crazy thing? You go through these things, and when you are going through them as young people, because you're not that exposed, you think it's the norm. You think
Yeah,
that
you think
is
it's the
normal.
life. That
You
that's the
think
way
this
life
is the
should be.
standard. You think anything more than this is luxury. You think,
Bro.
oh, this is how it should
A
be.
Liberian professor came as part of like, I don't know the kind of exchange they had in uni like this, but a Liberian professor came to teach us in mass communication for like 2 years. And when the guy saw the state of our classes and just even the environment, he said, even the department, this environmental pollution, look at everywhere. It's not even, the roads are not hard, nothing is here. Then you go to the classrooms, these are not smart classrooms. Look at what, and the guy was just sad that this is the level of education we have here in Nigeria. And if you treat
Wow,
young
I did-
people like this, you now wonder why there is violence. You wonder why young people are joining gangs and cults. And you now begin to say, oh, children of
Omo.
nowadays. It's not children of nowadays. You will not train these people at the end of the day.
Bro, I they do Monday meetings for fuel queue.
Bro,
Eh,
all
I'll
the
just
boys in my
deflect.
area, all the young boys in my area are not going to school. They're all into Yahoo. They're all into fraud.
Oh,
When you see
I have
them
a
buying
friend.
stuff on the
I have a friend in Asaba. He listens to this podcast. So I shout out to him. He's like a secondary school teacher in a public school, right?
That must be so stressful.
Oh, he goes to school and maybe there are 2 students. That two like, and it's a boys' school.
But in the
There are 2
class,
Yes, in a class, and he teaches chemistry. Very like he's
that's an important course.
a very intelligent guy. Bro, that's what I'm
subject.
saying. Like chemistry. So imagine now in an urban setting like Asaba. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In an urban setting like Asaba, right? And in the top public boys' school, people don't know chemistry. Like people are not coming to chemistry classes.
That's a knowledge deficit.
So tell me what the future is going to be like in terms of sciences, in terms of like biochemistry, medicine, pharmacy. Like just tell me what the pipeline is going to be like.
It's not
Right?
there.
And remember private schools now. I'm not sure there's a private school in that town that is less than 100,000 naira per term. How many people can afford that in Nigeria? In that state, in that city, in that town. Do you guys? So that's what a majority of them are still attending public schools. You know what? You know the feedback he gives me that the boys will tell him that nah, say they won't drive G-Wagon, and this one will give them G-Wagon. That's what
Simple
the
now.
boys tell him.
Go give me Benz. Go give me
Bro,
Benz.
I remember
now.
going to I remember in 2022 going to see him in school, and he was just narrating these things to me. Like the feeling of depression, and just sadness that fell upon me. I'm like, bro, where are we headed, man?
And guess what? That's the future. You're looking at the future because those boys now, the next 10 years, will
Yeah,
run for
there's no-
election.
yeah, yes.
They will run
Bro.
for election and win.
we see what is happening. Yo, Ayo just made me remove.
Sad.
Yo, Ayo just took me to Edo State and who they appointed as a.
Oh, but
this scenario.
we kill Odion and Osagie in that group. And it's
Oh
what
my
see,
god.
I know. As you just mentioned Edo State, I just remember that they said it because he has not stolen money. That's why he cannot pronounce. He cannot pronounce money like in words.
Oh, what Ayo
He
did
cannot
today is not
interpret
good.
figures in words.
I'm not even going
because
to.
he has not
See.
stolen money before.
something happened 2 years ago. I was listening to a radio station, a local radio station. There
Oh
is
my
a Yoruba
God.
radio station, right? And somebody called in. I guess the guy is one of these artisans. And he said, there's a problem now that even artisan work, they can't see boy like carpenters or anything. Young boys are not even signing up to even learn trade anymore. because all of them want to be driving G-Wagon. All of them want to be doing Yahoo.
I give person 100K to start generator repairing business now because the guy repairs my small generator. If the guy handles your small generator, bro, even if it's 10, even if it's 10 years old,
go do
even if
sporty bets.
it's a 10 year, you've used it for 10 years, it would be like you bought it that day. He's so good. I'm like, why don't you have a setup? Blah blah. We started talking about. I started encouraging him. Blah blah blah. Go and learn because he doesn't know how to work like repair big generator. So go and learn big generator. He came on. They said I learn it. He wants to open this thing. I gave him 100K, and this is like 2015, 2014 or so. I didn't see him for the next 2-3 months or so. They're saying go HQ. You use my money, go HQ.
Maybe HQ.
So again, don't ask me this question. No vex me this morning.
HQ.
Sorry,
You say HQ. You say no vex.
I'm sorry.
You didn't get it right. See.
I didn't get it right. I didn't get it right. They're saying go HQ.
Go HQ.
Press.
Honey Kingdom.
I say Jesus Christ.
Also Kingdom.
Also Kingdom. I'll be Honey Kingdom. Anyone. Bro,
brother,
I'm telling you, the way you have to get people out of poverty now is not giving them money. Is by enabling them. But what am I even saying? I met a guy. I met a guy at the petrol station around Alausa area. You know, the young man was going through it. Said he just needs that he needs money to buy barbing clippers. Do you understand? That's what he knows how to do. That he needs some money to add to money. I said, how much is the barbing clippers you want to buy? He said, wow. So, you know what? I went on GG. I looked for someone who sells barbing clippers. Real good stuff. Interestingly, I had bought barbing clippers like a month before.
Okay.
The whole set, right? It was nice. It's kind of expensive. You know what I did? I called that guy again. I told him to deliver another barbing clippers to me. I paid. Called the guy to my place. Gave him some money. Gave him the barbing clippers. Say he works at a place. Blah, 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 blah. He went with it. Then sometime later, maybe like 6 months later, called me that there's an emergency. That his mom is in the hospital. I said, at this time, what's going on? He needs some money. I said, no problem. Send me a picture of your mom in the hospital. Don't need to take her face. Just send me a picture of you in the hospital. I'll send it. I said, send it to me. He sent me a picture. Something said, Osagie. Reverse search the picture on Google, the image on Google. I reverse searched it. This guy just went and got the first research results. Do you understand?
He didn't even go to the second page.
The first search results. And so what it now started occurring in my head is that the time I even gave him the clippers, he probably pawned it.
Yeah, he did.
You know, so even me saying I'm trying to enable you, I'm just trying to say is that to enable people right now, it goes beyond just giving them some small money. You have to take them into an environment where you solve their hunger problem.
True.
You solve their shelter problem.
I'm not
and
that
then
rich
you solve their clothing problem before you can even start to enable anybody. Those three things you need to solve. And I think that's what Tunde Onokoya kind of does with the young people. Those three, you have to find somewhere they have to stay. Because usually you have to take them out of that environment they're currently in.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not loaded. I'm not loaded enough for that.
No, people that are loaded listen to this podcast. So I'm just saying.
Okay, that's true.
So you have to provide them with shelter. Take them out of that establishment they're in, so they are not influenced by what they are currently going through or whatever, right? The second thing is you have to hunger problem. If you are hungry, it's like right now I'm hungry, I want to eat. I'm not going to do well on this podcast to the end again. If you are hungry, you can't think.
But every time we finish this podcast, it's always food that you're going to eat, Sha.
I'm on a chow, jollof rice Sundays, baby. Hashtag jollof rice Sundays.
What I've done in the last 5 years or so, it's encourage people who have something doing. Like for example, like the guy who does my laundry, I overpay for services. That's just how I help, right? Then maybe on festive time, I can maybe give you rice or oil or stuff like that, right?
Yeah. What I'm trying to tell you now,
I also
Steve,
make sure that I overpay you for I want to reward people who are working. That's just what I do now.
Steve, what I'm trying to explain to you now is that's not enough anymore with the current situation on ground.
That's a drop in the ocean.
It's not enough because as you're doing that and then encouraging, how many people are encouraging? Right now, what is even happening, the way I'm thinking about it is that if you run a laundry business and you need to expand, what I'm seeing now is because I was talking to a colleague who was telling me about, he has a friend who he helped set up a laundry business, and the guy was calling him that he needs to buy a new generator, blah, blah, blah. And we're having the whole discussion. What I'm even thinking now is that even if you expand the laundry business, how many people can pay for laundry right now? So what you are currently experiencing as a laundry operator,
True.
is a drop in customer base.
Customer, yes.
Yeah.
So am I going to lower my prices now? There's so much to think about, and it's a lot to think about. Guys, let's move on. Got a mail from Doc Nato. Shout out to Doc Nato. Now, Doc Nato has a very interesting take. It says, I'm back with a relatively esoteric musical take. Last time, Osagie suggested setting up a record label, and I'm happy to share that it's now on my bucket list once my bag is complete. Doc, let that bag be complete. Oh. The money is plenty. Ayo can advise accordingly.
Ayo and his people, they spoiled the market.
They spoiled the market.
They spoiled Osagie's friend, spoiled the market. One of Osagie's friend like that, who's like a legendary producer, they said he spoiled the market. So now everywhere don't spoil.
Who's that?
I bet moving on.
Iron knows what I'm talking about. Iron gets it.
I didn't get it. Legendary producer, Osagie's friend, spoiled the market. I have no idea. You guys will tell me later on.
Okay.
Anyways, it says since the episode you guys crowned Tubaba as the king of Afrobeats, I've been considering whether I agree that he's better than Burna Boy. I love Tubaba, the musician, not so much the person.
Of course.
And spent the last few weeks binging his discography, as well as Burna Boy's discography. Again, his music, not the person so much. After much consideration, I think Burna shades it for me. Back when Burna lost out to Kidjo at the Grammys, I wrote my favorite piece ever about how Kidjo's cover of the Latin legend Celia Cruz was more deserving despite the misgivings of Nigerians at the time. Well, just on Sunday, another Celia Cruz cover won a Grammy. What does this have to do with Burna being the best ever? Well, the reason these covers do well in the eyes of the Recording Academy is that it shows incredible music dexterity and skill when executed well. When I look at the pair of Tubaba and Burna, I ask myself, which of them is capable of executing a proper cover of a Latin American legend? Back when I was writing my 2019 article, the thought came to my mind that the only way Burna would have beaten Kidjo is if he had done a masterful Afrobeat cover album of the Brazilian legend Sergio Mendes. You might remember him from the Black Eyed Peas cover of the classic song Masculada. I thought that way without a doubt in my mind that Burna could pull it off. He's that good musically. So do I see Tubaba doing such an incredible feat? No. Burna's musical ability feels more transcendent and fundamental in a way that Tubaba isn't quite. And so for me, that makes Burna the greatest Afrobeat artist of all time. I wish he could perform this by doing a tribute album to a Latin legend just for the fun of it and win another Grammy in the process. It would also transport me to musical nirvana. One can only dream. Cheers, guys. Doc Neto. P.S. The band narrowly missed out on inspiring a Grammy win as Mark Anthony's Muvenze that covered Oliver Twist narrowly missed out on a Grammy. PPS, at the go church, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior.
Thank you, Doc Neto.
All right, shout out, Doc. Okay, guys, do you guys feel like Tubaba Burna shades Tubaba in transcendent musical ability?
No,
I obviously don't think so.
Doc
You
Neto
don't
is
think so?
choosing Latin music, because trust me, if Tubaba says he wants to cover a reggae or dancehall legend, then it's game over too. If not, that one we look
but
at.
what you're trying to say is Burna can do that. Burna can also move into hip hop more than Two-Face.
Two-Face is
Burna
a
can-
rapper.
Who's more than who?
Which rap verse does Burna Boy have that is better
Hey,
than,
God,
better than
Osagie. No,
Ifeanyi
annoy
Baga?
me now.
That is better than Ifeanyi Baga?
Infinite Baga. Are you
come on.
serious?
Yes.
I
no.
think
Two-Face is more versatile because he can sing. Actually, he can actually sing.
I think, you know, like I've always said, it's the three most gifted and talented artists from Nigeria. They're just three.
Yeah.
The top.
Of
Right?
this generation. Yeah.
No, like Afrobeat,
No.
and like I'm talking from
Yeah.
99, Afrobeat
Yeah,
99
yeah.
till now,
Yeah.
is One Day, Burna, and Tubaba. They will jump on
Yes.
any genre,
Anything.
any style,
And they'll kill it.
they will kill it. Right?
Yes.
They can do anything you want them to do. Salsa, Makosa, whatever. Three of them will do it. But like if you want to put Burna and Tubaba and say, oh, pick one, who can? It's
Yeah, I'm
something
biased.
worth thinking about.
I'm
Yeah,
biased, sir.
biased. Though. And again, Two-Face
I'm
has
biased.
classics. I'm still waiting for a Burna classic. So
There isn't
Yeah.
a Burna. People say African Giants is a classic now.
where 50% of the song was already out before he dropped the album. Come on. We had like 5 singles already. There were like 5 singles already for that one.
Somebody will
Okay.
say, people also say Love Damini is a classic now.
I beg.
Those ones don't know music.
I
Those ones just listen to music 2022.
beg. Make me hear what.
Okay, I don't know what to choose. I mean,
Give
there's
me-
a bias. There's a
Give me 3
bias.
classics. Give me 3 classics. Then
Like
we'll talk.
like Two-Face.
Hey. No, because if you had Plantation Boys, Body and Soul,
Yes.
that's
That's
3
four.
classics.
That's 4.
Which one is the 4th one?
Face to Face, Grass to Grace, and Unstoppable International Edition.
Oh yes. Yeah. Hey. So give me 4. Then
Because
we'll
Grass to
talk.
Grace is better than Face to Face, but we all agree Face to Face is a classic. So
Yes.
Grass to Grace is
So
a classic.
Face to face is a classic. That one,
Yeah.
that one shit. But Grass to Grace again, bro. The levels.
Oh, we agree that Grass to Grace is better.
Grass to Grace is a better one than Face to Face now.
I have to listen
okay,
again,
I-
Sha.
Now that
I
you
have to
said
listen.
it now, let me just take it.
No, think about it. Do you know what Grass to Grace?
But I think they were really bigger. I think he had more in-depth records on
Yes,
Grass,
yes.
in Grass to Grace.
Yes,
Because if you listen to One Love,
First,
This is how Grass to
Ooh.
Grace starts.
Cause remember,
can
there's
be-
only one race, and that's the human
Ah.
race, okay?
that's it. That's it.
I agree. This one alone, I agree.
This is it. This one is that's it.
Yeah. See, one love.
Yeah,
That's how Grass
agree.
to Grace starts.
yeah, I agree. That's it for me.
Shout out to people who discovered this thing, that he removed his face from all his album covers.
Yes, so.
They told them.
They told them.
No, all that
Thank
is PR
you.
now. All that is
Thank you. In short,
They paid them.
I fuck up for not even thinking.
Osagie,
about
don't forget
it
that
like
One Love is also on this album. One of not One Love, True Love. One
Yeah.
of Two-Face's best.
No, I'm going to give you like maybe first 5 seconds of every to just show
Thank
you
you.
what Grass to Grace is. I'm giving you no shaky, my guy. Now you go sharp.
No,
on
they
cusp.
can't.
It's done, they happen.
yeah.
You know the amount of buzzwords, the amount of words that made it
Huh?
into pop culture
Yeah.
from Two-Face.
No shaking, no lily.
Don't forget this record.
Oh boy. Hey. No, I didn't feel it. No, I didn't feel it. No, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like no be small matter. No be small matter. Oh, this girl, no be small matter. No be small matter. See, girl, the way you they do me, I must confess, say I love you really truly.
Come on. Innocent.
A Kiss Daniel record before Kiss Daniel was Kiss Daniel. This is such a Kiss Daniel record.
Yeah. As you see me so, I know send, yeah. As you see me so, I know send you.
Oh my God. Oh. It be like said they won't tell us what to we never hear before.
This is my favorite intro.
Plus, solely my bad day, yeah.
People were comparing Soli Baba to Two-Face. They wanted the media had already put that tension out. What did he do?
Off just one record that Alibaba had.
And what did he do? He just told Soli Baba, "Come and jump on the intro of this record."
That's
And
it.
he just squashed everything. So matured. Oh my god. I'm not done.
Oh my lord, what record. God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You see, true love, she used to leave here before.
Come on, man. Come
You see,
on.
true love used to. Hey, God.
You see true love. She used to live here before.
before. Ah.
G. G. Eh? Who the? What's that song?
Obasanjo Ode,
Ah.
God, for instance. We're not done. We're not done.
Oh wow.
Bro, I'm going track by track. Oh. No skip.
You guys should get serious and drop this greatest Afrobeat albums of all time. You guys should get serious.
I'm working on it. I've listed it out. I'm working on it.
There's been a lot of toasting.
Two-Face, we welcome you to Benin. Come in. Come and marry our honorable.
No.
Become in. I've changed my mind.
Please, that's a personal opinion for Osagie. That's not
That's
the
the personal opinion. It's not the voice. It's
That's
not
not-
the opinion
it's
of
not the official
of
stance
Blue
of the
Stock.
Bro, then who remembers this record? This record is a deep cut, but who remembers this record? Oh man, this is so bad. This is what
But this is so bad. Come on, man. I was listening to it
iRocket.com
recently.
for more
Are you
And I swear,
serious?
I'm like, this is
Anytime.
like ephemeral. All
They
of you,
don't-
I need king. Like, this is fucked up. To be honest. Hey,
Oh,
Ocho.
Ocho.
Ocho. Ocho.
Come on.
Ocho yala malo. Ocho icho maja meche tuki malo. Ocho yala male. Ocho yala nana tuki yali foku maje idango e. Ocho idango e. Ocho yala lo e ikoma e. Ocho yala male. Ocho gume. Ocho yala malo.
Come on. You see this record? This record.
Hmm.
This
Two
record,
over.
Ocho. Then Ocho is Grace version of. There's a record Odia on Face to Face.
Odia.
Odia,
That's the
man,
same.
See,
thing.
when it goes
Like
into
Imalo.
when it goes
You
into
know,
Does
Odia
Two-Face
features.
Does Two-Face know how to speak
features-
Yoruba?
Odia features blackface. By
I
the way,
think
you
he
know.
just knows
Yes.
passable.
Because
Yoruba.
apart from the record, and I know it's not everybody sabi playable.
Hmm,
It doesn't have a lot of Yoruba references.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
That's what makes it. That's what makes him a more rounded Nigerian
a
artist.
moral artist,
Yes,
Nigeria,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
And he's not
yes.
speaking, he's not singing a language from any of the major tracks.
A
He's
major,
singing from
yes,
his own.
Yeah.
from his own, yeah.
Man, this Ocho record. The day I heard, I'm like, damn, man.
Ocho is a mad record.
Then don't forget this classic.
Yes, sir. What did they happen? Nothing they happen.
Nigeria, Ghana in the building.
I got this sound. Alright. Can you feel the sound? Be a Two-Face bring it down. Just to make you bounce along. Jump around, up and down. I'm ready to cool it down. Don't wanna see you messing around. Don't wanna hear you kicking around. Cause you're my number one. My love is here to stay. Won't go away. I promise to love you every day. Oh my Sherry, no breaking me. Cause I truly love you and you are my number one.
All right, man. Come on,
Tough
man.
album. Tough
So we
album.
agree it's a classic?
Come on. Of course not.
No, Steve was the one saying, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're not sure about what?
It's not you that were saying that you're not sure if it's a classic.
No, I was saying no. I was asking if he's better than like between face to face
face-to-face.
and
Yeah.
how would I be asking if this is
See,
the
I think it's better
classic?
than face-to-face.
It's better. It's
Anybody
better.
that listens to music and doesn't agree on Two Faces classics, you don't know music. You should not even be
There's
saying.
no
You
need.
should not be
There's
no
tweeting
need.
about music.
It's,
If you
it's
annoy
better
me,
than
if you in
face-to-face.
short, if you even annoy me, I'll put away and beyond. Like this, if I'm angry, like if I'm angry enough, I'll
Because
add away and beyond.
Away
as
and
a
Beyond have
classic.
bangers. That one had
Nah,
bangers.
Bro,
that's
bro,
that's
Away
that's
and
the problem.
Beyond. The day I heard Away and Beyond, I was blown away.
I'm like, bro,
I
you are
can't
still on this
remember.
level. You are still. I'm like surprised. Like,
No,
bro,
Away and Beyond. Oh my God. See
I don't know.
the writing
Yeah.
of Away and Beyond, the writing. Nah, Two Face is on another level. Bro, how do you start an album like this?
oh God.
Where are you? How? What was going on in the studio?
Every time we spend together, there is fire in our eyes.
How do you start like that? Every time we spend together, there is fire in our eye. See, I get it. Honorable from Edo State, I get it. Natasha, it's one letter. It's one WhatsApp message. And he just needs to rehash old lyrics.
That's all, man.
Every
Nah.
time that we spend together, there is fire in our eyes. See, my brother, you don't
There's
get belly.
in that proposal video, there's a Two-Face record playing that
Oh, you
I'm not
watched
familiar
that?
with.
And
Yes,
Yeah.
I watched it.
I watch it
Two-Face.
on mute.
Maybe it's a new one. Maybe one of those new ones. Could
Please
be-
check. Please listen again. There's a Two-Face record
He
playing
said,
that
please
I'm
listen,
not
where am I
sure.
going to get the video from?
It's all over the internet.
Oh no, it's all over the internet now.
Okay, hold on.
I
So
just heard new record.
I just need to say to Baba
It's all over the
Natasha,
internet
right?
now. Yes, now it's all over the
It could
internet
be
now.
it could be a new record though.
If you don't see it on the internet, call me. I'll tell DSS to send it to you. I'm sure DSS has the video.
Since they have
Because
this
they're
file.
looking for they have the case file already.
Voila, Nigeria.
Nigeria, just get data for Nigeria. You go do okay.
Once you get data, you're fine. Your depression will go.
Yeah, no.
They said,
Yeah, Baba, no.
person just proposed to baby saying they missing. Missing from
They
where
get
now?
busy. And guess what? The day after, they see my guy, they buy bag.
They
and-
buy
wig.
bag.
Okay, is it the video of him proposing where that one was saying this is history?
Yes.
Wait,
Yes,
let me
yes.
listen
It's
to
a
it.
record
Hold on.
playing.
Let me listen to it. Why is he holding her stomach?
They said she's pregnant.
Well, it's Two-Face. The rumors are My brother, I can't hear this thing now.
I can't hear very well.
I have to give it to the DSS. They will take it to their tech department. They will clean out the audio.
They'll clean out this is history.
Someone said, why are there so many Nigerian men around Nigerian male
Don't
celebrities?
understand. Like I'm on Twitter, I'm seeing Chloe and Burna Boy every single minute.
And
And they're being recorded. Like
It
this
is-
is
and
happening to what's
Different
happening in
men.
Nigeria.
Oh,
Different
man.
men. Oh man,
When
what's
they-
happening? This
when they tell
Always,
you that-
always publicly commenting.
When they
This
say
is
that
happening now.
men are the bigger groupies. This is what
I'm
they're
telling
saying.
you, men are more bigger groupies than women now. Nigerian
Like,
men.
how am I seeing?
This is history.
Come on, man.
This is history.
Why?
History.
That's the name of this
Why?
episode. This is history.
This is
Please, let's get back to more serious things. Mr. Two-Face, don't take our time. All right, Jason says Nigeria needs to heal. I would like to say that I have delayed writing this because I have been looking for a proper way to voice my thoughts. Then, like a KDV assist, the chance landed right at my feet. Last week, you addressed an issue that I've had all my life, which is rationalizing Nigeria's complex history and why we are here today. Little did I know the horror and doom that would come with trying to solve this problem. I began reading again, a hobby I abandoned a long time ago. I traded it for YouTube videos and podcasts. And then I stumbled on Mark Solon's Oil, Politics and Violence, Nigeria's Military Coup Culture. And to cut it short, I went through all the stages of grief. I'm sorry.
Welcome to Osagie's world. Welcome to
I'm telling
Osagie's world in the last 1 month.
He's
Never hear
basically
word for good.
He's basically describing where I am as a human being. If Ephraim finished the book today now, and he said basically we are toast. Like that was his own conclusion too. He was like, he gets it now. Anyways, Jason says, getting answers to questions I had all my life only came with more questions. How can these men see evil being committed, take up the cause of correcting it, only to repeat it? Not only that, but putting systems in place to make it easier for the next person. It's mind-blowing. The truth is, Nigeria will never know peace until we start telling these stories. The perpetrators need to come clean about the roles they played so everyone can heal. I'm still reading more books, and if you guys need a comprehensive list of books, you can reach out to me on my Twitter handle, Jazarino, that's Jazarino, or I
I know
can
him.
send,
Yeah.
or you know him, or I can send a comprehensive list in another email. Please send the list. Future generations need to read these books so that we can make decisions for ourselves and end the cycle. P.S. We need a proper series of like 7 seasons for these events. There's a particular part of the book, Oil, Politics and Violence, that seems like something out of a movie. You will know the one when you read the book. All right, man. Shout out to you, Jason. This is where I am. I'm reading backwards. I think you are reading forwards. So I'm currently at the Soldiers of Fortune from 1983 to 2000 to 1993. That's what I'm reading. I paused reading for a minute because I stumbled on this news, not new, but this series Bosch is on Prime Video. I've always seen it there, but I've never watched it, and I just for some reason just clicked on it, and I'm hooked. I'm in season 4 already. So I took a pause on reading, but I'll get back to reading so I can finish.
Before you get on the next, are you still on the that's?
No, I'm
Are you
done.
still on that?
I'm done. What's
Before
up?
you get, just briefly, I want to ask a very interesting question.
Yes.
I'm not talking about record. I'm not talking about record sales. I'm not talking about numbers. I'm just talking about importance to like hip hop as a
Yeah.
culture. Who is more important? I've got it or 50 cents.
That's a
Oh. Damn.
important to hip hop. I think one person's importance was a lot during a very short period of time, and the other person over a longer period of time.
Was elongated.
Okay.
I've got it definitely from the early 90s all the way into the 2000s, contributed to the success of Def Jam.
Yeah.
You understand? And
Rise of Mother Inc.
and hip hop in general. But 50 Cent during a very short period of time,
Blasted everywhere.
took it. Bro, 11 million copies sold. The next album, 14 million copies sold. It's crazy.
I say we should not talk about numbers. So.
Oh, okay.
No vex.
So you don't want to talk about numbers. You want to talk about contribution to the culture. If I could deduct one person's life and leave one person based on what they do, or if I take one person out and see what it would be like if the person never existed in hip hop culture.
Never existed in hip hop culture.
I've got is more important than 50 Cent.
Yes,
Thank you.
because without F, you would not
No
have
reasonable
gotten.
doubt.
Now, apart from that,
Yes.
this is the mad thing. You would have not gotten that version of 50 Cent that you got right before Get Rich or Die Trying.
Oh, that one even did too.
Facts.
Yeah.
If there wasn't that attempt at the studio
Yes.
that day, we would have gotten this 50 Cent. So it's still tight I got it.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
IG. If you want to take somebody out, yes, I can do away. See, I'll keep you guys. And was I saying it in the group? Ja Rule's discography aged better than 50 Cent's discography.
You said it last week. You said it
I
last
don't
week.
agree. You said it last week, but I don't agree though. It's fine.
Steve, you know you can do this week. This week, listen to Ja Rule's discography this week, and then listen to 50 Cent's discography.
Okay, no wala.
Just do it. Just listen to it.
Bro, I listened to the session 80 again, and that Ronald Reagan song. Ah man,
Bro,
Kendrick
that's
don't
music.
see Kendrick
Level.
again.
That's
You don't see
music.
Kendrick begin do music shower.
Also, this this Kendrick Drake thing, right? Is extremisms again, which doesn't make sense. Because you want to
Yeah.
support Kendrick Lamar, you now make it look like Drake has not had any contribution to hip hop at all.
Yeah,
Or
and vice versa.
Or his vice versa, yes. Or his contribution to hip hop has been like lukewarm
Minimal.
or lackluster or
Bro.
minimum. No, Drake has played in the last 15 years has played an essential role in hip hop by man.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
let's continue. Let's go back to
Yeah.
our family. Let's go back to
Shout out
family.
to those guys. In as much as I've had my own opinion on how he has been or whatever.
Oh, sure. I
That guy
understand
has
what
made
you're saying.
that guy has made fantastic music. Please don't even
Crazy
try
ass
it.
music.
Nothing was the same. What an album. All right, this is from Sweet Chalice, Hip Hop Hooray. This week I finally listened to Atheno's last album and it didn't meet the hype you guys sold. I feel Deal With It is a better album. I agree with you, by the way. Maybe if I didn't listen with an expectation, I would have enjoyed it better. Not a bad album though. Bad Boy Etiquette 2 by Ajabo Hustlers Enter. Una no lie. I want to shout out to Terry Akpala. I love his latest EP album entitled Black and White. Listening to it was a wholesome experience. My favorite tracks are Flex and Methuselah. I haven't listened to that album. I have to. Recently I have been.
I love this, by the way. Also
Yeah.
like knowing that Terry Akbala released an EP and following and listening to it, like it shows that you care about.
Yeah.
You are a fan of him and you are looking out
Mhm.
for him. It makes sense. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Recently I've been listening to Rendezvous by Emma Ebaga. Now I appreciate the album more than I did when it dropped. I don't like the album. And when I mean I don't like the album, I don't mean it's not it's a bad album. I think it's an okay album. I just
And
personally don't
also,
like the album. It
and
was
also,
just
what
You have
we say we
you
don't
have
like MI's
historically
album.
you've been known to be very, very, very harsh on MI. So
It's not harsh. It's
uh,
things that when you come out of the gate with the way you came out, people will always hold that as a standard for you. It's not as if Rendezvous is bad. But if you know MI, bruh.
but I like Lecky. Shout out to all the young girls. I like it. Okay, where are we? It says, I look forward to more Niger hip hop albums dropping, especially Odumodu's Black's upcoming projects. Ice Prince tweeted that he has a rap project curated by Chopsticks. I love to see what they have to offer. On the Stay Innocent episode, Steve mentioned Ice Prince's interview with Osi Suave, and I must agree it was a good one. In that interview, Ice Prince mentioned that he was the first artist to be awarded on the BET stage.
BET
I believe the
stage.
first African artist for the Best
Yeah.
African Artist
Yeah.
Award, not Davido, as widely reported. When that news was flying, I remember writing to Hip TV, which also erroneously reported Davido as the first. This highlights a problem in Nigerian media where they spread misinformation without or information without verifying claims or facts. Person fit wake up, talk something wey no true, and they'll just report it without providing a counter. Worse for me is when the copy articles verbatim that you can tell the origin of it. Nigerian media should fix up a beg. Thanks for reading. Till next time. I
Yep.
wanted to talk about the headies, but we can't talk about the headies because I is not
We
going to talk
can't
about the headies.
we can't talk about the headies, but we can
Uh-huh.
talk about the headies here. So
I'm also not going to talk about the headies. I was a member of the top academy for about 5 years.
I don't remember now.
I was a member of the academy now. You see
Oh,
me
did you
from
want
there.
did you want a press do you want me to drop a press release announcing
Yeah.
it, Steve?
So I was a member of the
Yes,
academy
no.
for 5 years. I don't want to have any comments. It's a lot because most especially I know hardworking people who work in that space.
Yeah.
Very hard,
Yeah.
inclusive of Ayo, right? I have my own comments, I have my own critics, right? I have my own praises, but again, it's because I didn't sign an
Conflict of
NDA,
interest, yeah.
but there's a conflict of interest to talk about it because, hey man, there will be too much context in which I was speaking, and
Shit gonna happen.
yeah, let's just let us let it go. But shout out to everybody. All right, this is from Ivy. Hi, Ayo, Steve, Osagie. Great show as usual. I'm writing back to give you a little more info on my last email about helping navigate life after uni. I know you guys said you strongly advise against NYC, but because of my course, I think NYC might actually help if I'm in the right place. So I'm currently studying civil engineering, and to be a registered engineer in Nigeria, you're required to gain at least 4 years of experience in the field. So yeah, I believe going for service is in a good firm could be nice. Let me cut it there. Let's get into it real quick. Steve, Ayo, do you feel because this person needs to get 4 years of experience, they should start everything from NYC?
Nope.
No.
I do not
Maybe to
believe so.
provide context, this person might feel like, oh, going for youth service course might be a great entry point into a company. Do you get what I mean? And
Yeah, so that's why I mentioned that. Like, it depends. Like, it also depends on where you are serving, like where you are doing your NYC. If it's in like in a far away like village or something, it doesn't help your course over the years. Like, it doesn't help you in the future. Like, you need to be somewhere where immediately you are practicing your career immediately while having the support of taking NYC allowance of I think now 70K right every month, which is like a huge support system for if I didn't come to Lagos through NYC, I don't know how would have been able to survive because I was busy doing internship around media houses while surviving on Alawi and on weekend messages from our editors, go to this press conference and stuff like that. But the Alawi, there was something to eat, by the way, like there's something there. So that was what helped me, survive the initial stages in Lagos. And that's why I always, encourage people to like, look for like places like that to do their NYSS, especially if you are really serious about immediately building something in your line of career, in your line of work or something like that. So if you are posted to Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Enugu, like where you can have like civil engineering firms to work with instantly, it's fine because you already have a Alawi, so you can go to them to say, write to them to say, I want to intern. That's what I did. Like I want to have access, like opportunity to do my internship here. I'm a young graduate. There's no corporate entity that will not be excited of having a graduate work for them. That there's no like they're not paying like full salary. Do you understand
For
what I'm
cheap.
saying? Like for cheap, there's no corporate entity that will tell you no. So go with them with that opportunity. And where I got that experience from was from everybody I knew when I was serving. Like when I came to Lagos to serve, right? That was my first opportunity. That was like the first time I was like really interacting with people who grew up in Lagos, right? And I saw that all of them, even while they were in school, they were attached to one company or the other. Like for example, Kelechi, my guy, who's in Canada now. By the time he was in 200 level, he was working at Nestle. He wasn't working. He just goes there every holidays to just go there. Do good. So they put him in quality something in the department. So anytime he finishes from school, the next Monday he's resuming at Nestle. Do you get? So immediately when it was time for NYC, Nestle gave him a letter. He brought in a Nestle letter to NYC camp. So say NYC post me to this company, and they did. And immediately he finished service. Guess what happened? They gave him a job because he had over the years he had opportunity to show quality that is of it can deliver value. Do you guys? So there are so many like that. Innocent was a lawyer. He was already working with like some interesting bars like
Law firms. Yeah.
law firms in Lagos, right? There was a pharmacist who was already being a chemist selling drugs, right? But he's an experience as a pharmacist. Like there were so many opportunities for them. There were opportunities for them, right? In growing because they grew up in Lagos, they were attached to like companies or firms of what they were studying. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, so it's important for you that immediately you enter the NYC system, you have somewhere you are attached to, because it's an opportunity for you to learn while also earning from NYC. At least say at least feeding money don't they settle small. You're not overly worried about nobody is paying me or not, right? If it's not a good experience, you can change it. Also, it's just an opportunity for you. I don't want you to go to a thick village that contributes nothing to what you want to do in your life and waste 1 year. 1 year is very critical, in the stage of your life right now. Do you get?
Thank you very much for that submission, Steve.
Yeah.
We haven't finished reading the fan mail, but I didn't want to stop you because you were on a roll. So let me
Yeah.
just finish reading it. So Ivy says, but here's the main problem: trying to go for and to the places that I want. For context, I'm the second of my parents' two kids, and they treat me like I'm still a child. They don't let me go out by myself without an adult carrying me there. They don't let me drive. I'm 22, by the way. The 2 times I did industrial training, my dad completely shut down my opinions on where I wanted to work and made me work in his company, which I absolutely hated. And I was depressed for a while. We have been talking about my life after graduation, and it seems he still wants to keep me under his wing. He has already told me the state he wants me to serve and the company I will be under. I am not too excited about the location. While I love my parents to death, um, this one thing this one thing that gets me really upset because it feels like I have no say over my life. And before you ask, I was the one who chose civil engineering myself. How do I put my foot down and start taking my life into my own hands little by little? Because at this point, it feels like it is whatever map they draw for me, I will have to follow. Thinking about it makes me so depressed. I need to live life on my own terms. This is why I ask for help navigating life after uni, so I can find of well, I can forge my own plans and start presenting my ideas to them. So maybe they would let them see me or let me see them through. Okay, so a lot of context you've given us, Steve, or at least you've given us a bulk of the main reply, but you then see the context in which Ivy is talking about here. Can I come in here to quickly just jump in here? Ivy, what I
Yeah.
would say is you just need money. You just need your own money. Because when you have your own money, you can dictate your terms. It has happened to the best of us. It happened to me. It happened to Steve. It happened to Ayo. At some point, it might not have been 22. At 22, bro, it was a bit different for me. But we've all been there where you want to make decisions for yourself, especially at this age. I understand what you're going through. There's a lot, right? And then your parents have their own vision for you. And there's a way they can always carry it and make you see their vision, right? But the way you've explained it and expressed yourself, I mean, if someone is still taking you out and you're 22 and they don't let you drive, right? Then they are really treating you like a child, like you said. And you have to get out of that. You have
It's
to
an
find a way.
indictment on you, actually,
You
because
have
you've
to
not
find a
shown
way.
that.
Yeah, you have to find a way
Yeah.
to get out of that for them to feel like, oh, this person got it sorted. Do you understand what I mean? You have to find a way. For your parents, not it's either your parents are radicals or you've not shown them, you've not made them comfortable enough for them to say, oh, you can leave the house, see you later. Oh, you want to hang out at your friend's place, see you tomorrow. Do you get what I mean? And this will start to reflect in other aspects of your life. Like you're saying it already, where you're going to work, the next job you're going to have, etc. etc. So for you to build out of that, you need to sit down and ask yourself, how have I behaved in the last few years? Have I been responsible with money they've given me? Have I been responsible with relationships? Am I, and all of those things you can ask yourself and then start to build out of it. Ultimately, you need to make your own money to make your own decisions. But I also need to ask you, when you do start making your own money, are you responsible enough to handle yourself, Steve?
Let me tell you guys a short story. I've said it several times on this podcast. So let me start from my dad. My dad was born in Benin, right? But from like a very young age, he moved to Lagos. My dad grew up in Lagos. He's a typical like Lagos boy. My dad does not like Lagos, right? He doesn't like the hustle and bustle nature, the scattered, like he doesn't. My dad likes like life in a quiet town, live, train your family, like bring up your kids and stuff like that. So when my dad left Lagos, he's anytime he goes to Lagos, like growing up, I remember my dad always coming back to complain that he hates that city and blah blah blah. My dad didn't have a good experience with Lagos, right? So while Afrobeat and pop culture, the Nigerian youth culture TV made me fall in love in Lagos, right? Anytime I mention it, my dad always shuts down the idea that, but no, I think you can build your life elsewhere. That city is not conducive, blah blah blah. So the idea for my NYC was that I was supposed to serve in Zenith Bank in Delta State. Like a car, if the history of if you know the context of Zenith Bank is owned by a car man, so a car people it's easy for them to get in, right? With like some connections. So I was supposed to serve
Sorry,
in Delta State.
the way you said you meant, I honestly I thought you said a car man, like A space CAR.
No,
But you meant Ika.
a car. Yes,
Please, thank you.
that's where we're from,
I'm
right?
like, did Jimovia
So
start selling cars? What's going on?
okay, no, a car. So because my dad worked in federal service, he knows a lot of people. So if you work in the way the federal service, civil service is structured, you don't work in one ministry only. So you work with Ministry of Works. Tomorrow they transfer you to Internal Affairs. Next tomorrow to Internal for Information. So my dad has a lot of friends around the civil service. So he knows people in the NYC office. So he told me, he said, oh, my friend said you should go to school, take your call-up number and send it to him and just text him the place you want to serve, because a lot of people apparently the man he fixes this NYC placement for a lot of people. So just text him your call up number and the place you want to serve. So I was supposed to say Asaba, my call up number. Do you get? But while I was sending that text, I put my call up number and I put Lagos and I didn't inform my dad. So Lagos happened. I came to Lagos. Blah blah blah. Do you know that when my younger brother graduated and when my younger siblings graduated, my dad didn't use that man because he thought that man's own did not work. Do you guys get on that? My dad fell out. Like, no, it's not as if they fell out.
Yeah,
but my
yes.
dad just had a grudge against. I told you to send my son to Delta State. You sent him to Lagos. So he used another person. He didn't use the man. It was 2017 that I told my dad that this is how I came to Lagos. My dad started shouting. My dad shouted for like 5 minutes. He was like, what? Like, I've not spoken to that guy for a while. I thought he didn't do the job well. I was the one who put in Lagos on the text message to him because that is what is in my head. That is what I was determined to do in my life. That was a place I was going. I would have loved to explore. So I took the opportunity to I took matters into my own hands, basically. Right? And my dad said, "Oh, man, just look at you now. You have a career that you love, and he gave me my flowers, and he was happy for the decision I took. That's how important it is to own your own narrative and to own your. Ultimately, your life belongs to you, not your parents. Your dad has done the best thing in his life, which is he has a son, a civil engineering grad. His son as a civil engineer. He has put you through school, and from the context they have given us, is somebody who has taken extreme care of you. He has done his best. From this moment now, you have to do your own best. Do you get?
Simple as that.
That's just all. Yeah. And like Osagie said, you have to show that you are responsible enough to take your actions. Take them. The only way to show it is by taking those actions and being responsible with it. Do you get? Because if I had come to Lagos and I've gone to jail, or police was arresting me every day, they were calling him every time in Asaba, say you're picking day prison, or you're picking day cell, or he has police issues, or come and solve it. Or when I eventually tell him that I was the one that brought myself to Lagos, he was like, you brought yourself to Lagos, now look at you. Do you get? Look at the decision you make. This is why I didn't want you to come here. But by the time I told him, he was happy for my decision, and he gave me my flowers. He had lots of praises for me. He prayed for me to say, Omo, you've taken this decision yourself, and this is where he landed you. I pray for you. I'm happy for you. Do you get? I made him happy by taking actions into my hand, but also because I was responsible enough to own the actions and go the right way. So if you say you are going to take your actions today, ask yourself, are you going to be responsible enough to ensure that tomorrow, when you are telling people that I made this decision, that are they praising you, or they are expressing regrets? Do you get? That's what you have to think about.
Bless. Thank you very much, Mr. Steve. Round of applause for. Let's drop a bomb for Steve's advice.
Yeah,
drop a bomb.
I deserve it. Let me take it. I deserve it.
Had to drop one.
That's how I came to Lagos, and now you adopted me, as his guy. And that's it. That's how
I don't know about
that's
that
how
one.
we roll.
Gave you a swan yogurt.
Aswan yogurt. Introduce me to the Aswan and yogurt lifestyle.
My God. All right, we got a mail right all the way from Liberia. This is from Donald. Insights from
Monrovia
Liberia.
people. What's up?
Yeah. Shout out to our Liberian people. I had Liberian neighbors when I was growing up.
Oh, for real?
Very
That
clean
means-
set of people. Very
That
clean.
means, did they run away from
Very
the war?
neat.
Were they running
Yeah.
away from the war?
Yeah, they
I
ran away
think
from the
so.
war, actually.
Yeah,
They gave me
yeah.
a whole detail. The war just started. Boom, boom, boom. They had to run. They found themselves in Nigeria. They lived in like the lower class area of where I grew up in, right? But they were clean, they were neat, they were respectful. Yeah, great guys. Shout out to them.
Shout out to the
Jonathan,
My
Liberians.
primary
Solomon,
school crush.
and
My
all of
primary school crush was a Liberian. You remember
Liberian.
that school? I won't mention the name of that school anymore. But you guys used to clown me with it. I remember I
Yeah.
told you one time my dad got broke when I was in primary school, and took me from a private school to a public school.
So
Yeah.
Trenchy school.
Yeah,
You remember
told-
the
yeah, I
trenches
remember,
school?
yeah.
Right. So
What's the name of that school?
then-
Itekpete
I'm
something.
not mentioning that school. Don't worry yourself. Don't bother.
Just say it now. It's not your-
For like
it's your
2-3
history.
months, this guy's
This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. The guy said, Mark Solon, are you listening to this podcast? This is what we're talking about. People don't want to talk about their history. And
I'm
then
not
you
doing
erase
it.
And then your kids don't know about your history. Nothing is going on. This is the problem we have.
My kids are
People
not going to judge me with it. They're not
What
going to
is the
clown me
name?
with it.
Nobody's clowning
Let's
you.
move on.
What is the
I'm
name
not-
of the school? We're not going anywhere until you tell us the name of the school. What is the name of the school?
Don't worry. No, let's move on from the gist then.
You see, you're not going to name the name of the school now.
No, I'm not naming it.
We're curating history here, and this is what you're going to do. I'm
I don't want
upset.
to give you another. I don't want to give you another two.
Another
Don't-
ammunition.
Another. I'm telling you.
Another what?
Ammunition.
Please,
Ammunition.
let's listen to Donald from Liberia. You can
no, I'm
off
just
your
saying
gist.
that in that primary school, my
Off your
my
gist
crush
if you're not
was
going to
in
give us the
Liberia.
name of the school. Don't give us half-baked stories. You're either going to be Mark Solon or silence. Solon or silence.
then.
Thank you. Anyways, this is from Liberia. Good day, OGs. Day one listener here, and greetings from Liberia. For context, I grew up in Nigeria and I have been following recent developments in the country. After listening to the Bad Talk episode, I can tell you based on our experience from Liberia that a sitting president naming projects after himself can even get worse. I advise that the media and everyone calls this out so that this isn't normalized and the government doesn't become a praise singing choir where the president just does anything. For example, in Liberia, our former president, George Weah, gave two of his former football coaches, Wenger and Claude Leroy, the country's highest national honors a couple of months after getting in power. He didn't
Yeah,
face
I remember that.
pushback and went on to live a celeb life as a president. He went on to name the first military hospital as the 14th military hospital after his football jersey number. Wow. As president, he came out of football retirement because he wanted to play against Nigeria in a friendly match and retire his jersey for number 14 jersey. He was
I
out
remember
of
that
the
match.
country. He was out of the country an official trip for 48 consecutive days. Conveniently, the official trip included extended time in Qatar during the World Cup and during the United States matches which he attended. And yes, his son plays for the United
Yeah,
States senior team. Let's not start on the fact that as president, he built a personal studio, recorded numerous songs as president, including a Corona awareness song, beauty pageant theme songs, and reggae covers. In 2020, when the deputy head of Liberia Broadcasting Service accused the president of sleeping with his wife and went into self exile, the president released a reggae song titled Liar Man. Shortly after, lyrics basically accusing a liar man of lying on his name. Anyways, we see this and more in Liberia. By the way, he nearly lost his re-election bid and there was no widespread rigging. Basically, all I'm saying is it can get infinitely worse, and if people don't speak about it, y'all will slowly slide down into the abyss. Nigeria is my second home, and it hurts to see how the standard of living and the earning power of people have reduced. Please do not add a government centered around praise singing to your current struggles. With love from Liberia.
shout out to my guy from Liberia.
My goodness.
Wow, creating a
George,
diss track. I think that's an extreme low, even for Nigerian. I know Wicked does something like this, but it's on his live performance, not MP3.
guys,
It's always not on distro yet.
we're playing along those lines.
Oh, we've gotten to those places. We've gotten to that place. Nigeria is a one-party state right now. So
We're playing along those lines. We're
Mm.
playing along those lines.
I remember that Super Eagles game with Liberia and George Weah.
almost
I had like
Steve wrote a stinker.
you remember now that stinker. Someone invited me to his house in Ikoyi to give me a stinker.
Are you
Stinker versus
serious?
stinker. It was a
Stinker
stinker
versus
derby.
stinker.
Stinker derby.
What? It was a stinker derby.
Anyways, man, guys, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you
been a
so much.
blast.
Bless. Oh, we have one more. One more. Can we do
Oh.
Alright,
one
let's
more?
do it. Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do
do it.
one
Let's
more
do it.
for the
Go,
road.
Let's
go.
do one more. Let's do one more for the road. This is from Toby the Genius. He says, undercover celebs. He says, every time I'm on the move in the busy streets of Lagos and I'm smiling, people assume I am on a call with my non-existent partner. But
Yeah.
9 over 10, I'm listening to you guys on the pod. So thank you for giving me something to look forward to every Monday. Secondly, a big shout out to Steve and AOT2 for engaging with my writing over the last few weeks. I've been sharing my experience listening to really old and forgotten albums. The first one was about Reverend Chris Okotie's I Need Someone last week. I dropped another one on Daddy Shoki's The Name album. By the time you read this, another one should be out. It's a new challenge for me, combining my love for writing and my life as a musician who moonlights as an architect. In the last episode, Steve asked Osags how commuting to work feels like in his new climb. As a follow-up to Osags and also Steve, how does it feel like knowing you lived a whole other life that your colleagues are not aware of now? Have you ever wondered what you would do or feel if your colleagues stumble on your exploits in Nigeria? I asked this because LD the Don spoke about a similar experience of his music plaque arriving at his workplace in Nigeria and all hell
Osagie has
broke
that
loose.
experience.
He had to leave the job because his colleagues were now aware of his fame. Anyways, thanks
Yeah.
again for all you do. Shout out to you, Toby the Genius. Keep writing your articles. We'll put the ones you've written in the show notes for you guys to for people to read as well. I love that you're curating very old albums. I'll read the review myself and even go and listen to the music. To your next question. To be honest, man, I keep that place on the low. But at times you get into some conversations and it slips out. But yeah, it just slips out because you're trying to explain something. Like one of my
Yeah.
colleagues, right? He's Gambian and the other was Nigerian. We're talking and um yeah, I was like, oh, he was saying something about Burna Boy and everything. I was like, yeah, it's crazy. The guy can blah blah blah. I remember he put me on the intro of his album. And the guy said, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up,
Pause, nigga. Pause,
hold up,
nigga.
like hold up. He did
Like, what are you saying, bro?
And then I know I'd fucked up, right? I was like effed up. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the intro of the album, and it was like, what? He went to the album, listening, like he said, guys, this guy's on the intro of Burna Boy, Burna Boy. I didn't know what to say, I'm just like, so most times I kind of downplay it. I don't like to talk about podcasting. One person, I was talking to one person about podcasting. I was just like, oh, podcast, do you do a I'm like, that's something. I just talked the person out of it because, hey, man,
Where
I
you
don't
want
know.
start?
Yeah, where you want to start, or who you are, or people or the video was coming to town. It was in Amsterdam for a concert, and some guys were going and were like, dope. I was like, if I call up somebody now, I can probably
Go
get
and get the
backstage to
tickets.
this, or
Yeah.
but let me just
Let me just chill.
let me just chill,
Yeah.
right? And I'm focused
Yeah.
on getting more money right now, which is where I am. But yeah, it's
It's
a
money.
past life, and to be honest, I don't like to share it with a lot of people. You also see people arguing about stuff that you really know, but to go into the argument or the conversation, you have to then reveal a few things, and you really don't want to do that. So
True.
yeah, I'm pretty much good. Not a lot of people know me around here, except a few people, which I already said on the pod. Shout out to them. They saw me on the
Yeah.
road, and yeah.
They talked about the podcast, right?
Yeah, I was with someone. I was explaining to some person that I have a podcast with my friends, and people listen to the podcast, and the person didn't understand what I was saying. The person knows about the podcast, but like maybe didn't look that much into it. It probably has a podcast with 10 listeners. What's my business? And so we're
Yeah.
walking somewhere, and then someone just passes and says, "Oh, Sags, your podcast, Loose Talk, changed my life." Right? So the person I'm with looks at me, looks at the person, then looks back at me again and says, "You don't stay in this area, so you don't know this person."
Exactly. Yeah.
And I said, "Oh yes, it's the podcast." And the person didn't look at me the
Yeah.
same anymore.
Yeah.
So it happens like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's not something that it's something that I think my own experience has always been that anywhere I'm in public, like if I'm with maybe a colleague or a friend that does not know anything about like my media,
That side of your life.
that side, if we go somewhere, maybe a public place or something, someone must walk up to me to say, "Are you still dating?"
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get that itself is revealing, right? That
Yeah.
itself is
Don't
revealing.
don't
Yeah.
cast a lot of
I
cheese.
remember I and Ayo being at the headies and we're just sitting awkward, like just in a very
Oh my
different place.
lord.
Yeah.
That day.
And we're just chilling, like we're just chilling. Then Emma was passing, and he paused. He just came. He said, "How far?" Like immediately, like I was at the back. I was always back. I was not with Ayo. Immediately, Emma left. I could see people around Ayo just the countenance
Emma-
changed.
Emma
Like, who is this guy?
Emma
Who is
did
this
it,
guy?
Ice
Like
did it, and somebody
Ice,
else did it.
so Emma did it first, then Ice did it, then one other artist. I can't remember.
remember
Like
the
three
artist,
artists
somebody.
did it. There were three artists.
Omo.
All of a sudden, you could see the energy around him changed. Like the energy changed.
That's
You get-
fame. That's
even
fame.
even the guard, even the guards that around him, like
Everything just
you know,
changed.
everything just changed. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So
That's what fame-
like for
that's
example
what
in
fame is,
Nairobi
man.
last year at our booth, like 3 people came on. I'm like, man, I used to did it. Steve did it. Let's talk. Yeah,
And
man.
then-
Me from your days of pause. I'm like, okay.
And then
okay.
your
that's-
boss starts looking
there
at
are
you
people,
like,
not boss, like people around will be like, oh, who's this guy? Like he's just you get he's just puts an extra. It just makes you I don't know how to
Stand
explain it.
out.
Right? That's yeah, it just makes you stand out. So
yeah,
that's
there was a time of the
just the way
height
it
of
is.
facts only, right? And loose talk. Like that 2016 time we started, 2017.
Yeah.
I hated going to the malls on weekends. I had to go very early.
I remember I used to tell me,
Going to the
yeah,
mall
I used
in
to
that
tell
Yeah,
me.
period.
because going to the
Oh,
mall
God.
was because you see, it sounds interesting, but to me, I used to look at it from a security point of view. It's very dangerous because
It's very dangerous.
someone knows you and you don't know the person
You
knows you.
don't know them.
Or the person is looking at you. You know, there's so many things I used to look around. So I didn't like taking my family out to some certain places, except it was like very different and exclusive. You know, just
true.
shield yourself from all of that. I don't like fame. It's not
I
nice.
didn't used to think about it that way until the infamous episode.
Yeah.
Where even in my environment, like in my area, I didn't know that people were paying attention. You know,
Bro,
like, but the
when
whiskey, I
something
went to
goes
play football
viral,
I went to play
different
football that
from-
week, and everybody was walking up to me to say,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is dangerous. So what
It's
of if like part
da-
of the people looking for me, they were part of like they
No,
were
that was
here.
Yeah.
They just got to me like it
Yeah.
was dangerous. So and that was
Bro.
when I started scrubbing. That was when I started scrubbing my internet and my family up to out of social media. So I used to have like wifey's photo on my
Big-
page.
yeah.
I used to have like that episode. The effect of that episode was what made me like just scrub my personal life out of the
Yeah.
internet.
And I appreciate
It's dangerous,
privacy.
man.
And I appreciate, and it's dangerous. And I also fall out with like a couple of friends, to like not friends, like people who know me outside of like when they take pictures that have
Yeah.
like, they have me in it and they post it in places I don't like. I'm always against it. Like, but they don't understand apart from even the podcast itself. I work in the media, like there's those stories we've done. Like it's
yeah.
we have to be-
Yes.
people don't understand. Like it's as if you are trying to act like you. At the time, it be like say I can't be form, not be forming.
Like
Like,
they
I'm
feel
really
like come like
concerned
big man.
because it's exactly.
Yeah.
And because of how new media is at that time, because new media wasn't traditional media at that. Like for example, like the editor of Sun newspaper, there's no way you could see him ordinarily as the editor.
Yeah.
He was the editor of Sun
Yeah,
newspaper
you will
because
see
there
him
was
in a
you
corporate
see him in
manner.
a corporate manner and
Yeah.
also in a secure manner. Like he wasn't outside. He was protected in a sense.
Yeah.
But because we were editors at new media, which you think is nothing, but
Yeah.
we're influentially like in what we were writing. We're like
Bro,
people were taking like people were threatening us.
the
based on
first
things that we
version of
covered.
Loose Talk, right, that ran from 2016 to 2020,
Yeah,
had over 2 million downloads.
exactly.
It's
Unheard of,
crazy. Like,
unheard of
It's
Nigeria.
crazy.
right? So for me, I'm
Yeah.
like, there are a lot of people, bro. I've told you, like, I'm telling you, Amsterdam randomly. I was in the
Yeah.
train. Another guy just
Yeah.
came and met me and said, "Yo, Osagie Alunge," randomly. Do you understand? I had my
Randomly,
backpack. I was
yeah.
going somewhere. Like, I've been to different places, and you're like, and I'm sure it's happened to you guys as well. And for me, that is
yeah.
scary because
It
what if
is
I have
actually.
an opinion
Yeah.
of something that you don't like and you want to harm me?
You
Thank
pull up
you.
to me now.
Or
Exactly.
you find me in a position and you're recording me. Do you understand that? Like,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's what that scares me the
Yeah.
most.
bro.
Yeah, so like, and that scared me because of like, especially the photo thing. Maybe we'll go and play football, we'll go out to drink. One of our teammates is taking pictures and is posting it. I'm always very uncomfortable with it because this is somewhere I read like this is something I
regularly
do
visit,
every.
yeah.
I regularly visit. This is
And-
something I do.
And as a
every
journalist,
weekend.
you've written on stories that
You've written on
can
stories.
be,
Come
can
on.
be
Exactly.
can step on people's toes.
Also,
so
this
yeah.
P about photos. As a journalist, we know that photos can tell a lot of things. We know we've cracked stories based on photos.
Based on photos. Thank you.
Maybe
We've
the
done
best friend
breaking
to an
news.
artist, best friend to an
Thank
artist,
you.
post a
Thank
photo.
you.
Everything.
So I
on
know the
clear.
implications.
So I know
the
what a photo can
implications.
tell you. Yeah.
I understand it, but people
Bro,
around
you guys
people,
remember
they
my
can't-
wedding day now?
I remember now. I remember now.
I told everybody I don't want to see anybody's phones out.
Tickets, so
Anybody's
it's-
phones. The only people that will take pictures are the official photographers.
Photographers.
Once you want to take it,
Yeah.
I'll just look at you. What are you doing? What's that?
People don't understand this
That
thing.
day was- that day was
You can't be like say you the overform or
I
you
beg,
performing is.
I they protect myself.
What people don't understand.
All right, man, guys, we've come to the end of another episode. We gave you a bumper one. It's over 3
Yeah.
hours again. I don't know how we do this all the time, but we've done it again.
We do it to ourselves all the time.
We'll do it again. We'll catch you on the next episode. Love you guys very
Yep.
much.
Peace out.
I'm gonna leave you in the hands of the one and only Jesse Jags. And on this song, he's talking about his brother. Now, I don't know if this is a real song or I don't know. I don't know if the lyrics are he's just writing them out of his heart.
Same country, same city, same home. Same blood, same flesh, same bone. At the break in the day, he got taken away. Gave him a new name, he can't remember whence he came. It ain't his fault.
Oh, I get it now.
Back. But it doesn't matter what road for each tire leaves a car track. It doesn't matter how far he go. Each time he looks in the mirror, he can see he's my bro.
Make we go play Tottenham, man.
And his kids don't know that they related to my kids. And
the battle of the myths.
From time to time. And since the family, I'm happy every time he shines. Yeah, I just hope that in spite of our present differences, we could be united. And
man, Ayo is not into hip hop. That's a new one.
Love finds him, finds me.
Now, wow. This narrative.
Eve has the voice of an angel.
I wonder where she is right.
Who, Eve?
Ivura, the girl singing.
Okay.
Same country, same city.
Where is this?
Same blood,
Are we still recording?
Same bone,
Yes, now.
My
Alright,
other brothers
I started
at home,
recording.
yet we keep acting like it ain't together we've grown. Yeah.
You want to go talk something, we go talk while they go find you, go where you
to celebrate. And now even our kids is fighting each other while they should be reading and writing each other. And the war we fight is making us poor. Our bodies and souls are aching and sore. And look at the mess that we created, trying to be civilized while we was born native. Yeah. We destroying what we building, acting like we ain't our father's children. I just hope we could put the past behind us. I pray love binds us and finds us. Yeah.